Yeah. Hey. 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 Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what your team doing, man. They ain't messing with the perp gang. It's our year, time to get this ring. Bring it home back to the skull gang. Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what your team doing, man. They ain't messing with.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Saturday Night Live, Purple Vibes in the Zone. Got my man Mike Sports Vibes. We're just waiting on. Oh, we got the boom. We got the camera fixed.
Is it the guy, the myth, the legend?
We got Zoe in the building.
Is this the myth, the legend in the building? Hey, shout out to Zoe.
Man, what up,
we got it working. Hey, we got Patrick in the building. Welcome, Patrick.
Let's go.
We got Dave in the building.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, we got Bob. I want to mock Swede in the building.
I want to mock Bo Nick.
Davey Chains, welcome.
Let's go.
We got My Worthless Opinion.
You already know what's up with it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just Nate. First
now,
time
boy,
seeing your
what's
name.
going on?
What's
What's going?
How's it
What's
going?
the deal?
What it do? Zoe, Yogi, what's going on?
Feeling good. How
What's
you
the deal,
guys
my
feeling
guy?
this week?
Oh man, everything good. I'm here talking and vibing with y'all, man. So we got a lot to talk about this Kirk Cousins Netflix stuff. I got mixed opinions about it, but I'm gonna let y'all. What's y'all opinion on it though, man? What's y'all opinion on the Netflix series? How do you feel about Kirk Cousins? Does it make you want to sign Kirk Cousins to a 10-year extension? What does it make you feel? How does it make you feel?
Man, go ahead, Yogi.
Hey, I like we said on the show previous, man, it shows he's a great guy off the field, but we need him to be a dog on the field. But it is crazy the amount of pressure he puts on himself. So and the hard work he puts in, I do respect him for that. But hey, if he can't get us to the Super Bowl, I'm still out on it.
I like that. For me personally, man, I like Kirk, man. He's a great family man. He seems like a great person, man. But that doesn't mean that doesn't get us a Super Bowl. Being a good person, being a great family man doesn't get us a Super Bowl. We haven't won a Super Bowl, and I'm trying to take that next step and get to the playoffs, get to the NFC Championship game, get to the dang on Super Bowl, and finally win it. Because it's not just getting to the Super Bowl. We got to win it. We win there 4 times. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that's watching right now haven't even been born when we did get to Super Bowl all 4 times. But it's just a fact that we haven't won in all 4 times, man. We gotta do something different. We're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
We're doing something wrong.
Hey, what up? Shout out to Nikki in the building.
Hey,
we got Still State of Mind, D Woods. I'm about to drop that link. Hey, just so you know, folks, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have I'll have it so 2 people could pop on. So I'm gonna put the link in the comments. So if you're in the queue, we'll get everybody on, but we're gonna have 2 people on extra at a time. That way we could get their thoughts on stuff. All right.
Let's go.
So be sure to tap in.
Hit that link.
Definitely tap in, man. It's definitely going down tonight on this wonderful Saturday night. Definitely going down. But yeah, that's my opinion on Kirk, man. I just want to win, man.
Yeah,
we all want to win.
Yeah, I ain't see that documentary though.
I seen
you haven't started watching it yet?
I don't want to watch it, honestly though. Like, I don't care. I don't care how you live your personal life though. Like, I want to see what you do on the football field, not what you do at home or off the football field. Like, you could be the best person in the world. I want to see what you do on that football field.
Purple game. That's what we need, man. Like, I agree. That's what I agree. I agree with Zoe, man, and Yogi. Like, at the end of the day, man, that's all cool. You good family man, good dude. But at the end of the day, when it was 4th and 8, you checked it down to TJ Hawkinson. That's the type of mentality we don't want anymore. I don't want that no more. As a Minnesota Viking fan, all the things that we've been through over the years, the history of the Minnesota Viking franchise, we are tired of that. We don't want that no more.
Yeah,
He
man,
got $200 million guaranteed.
Hey, D Woods, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm straight on that. I'm straight on that though, Mike. Like Patrick Mahomes, I
Oh,
could care.
that's
I
another
could
thing.
care, I'm saying I could care less how he is off the field, but I see the way he treat other players on his team, and plus, Patrick Mahomes is a winner. I want somebody who want to win
Fact.
for us. I don't care how you is on your part. You could be the best father, the best brother, husband in the world. If you ain't performing on that field, it's all business. It's not personal. I want somebody who
Talk that
gonna
talk.
win for real. Like Patrick Mahomes could do anything. Cause Patrick Mahomes, at the end of the day, he performing no matter what on a bump ankle, on everything. He bring his all. That's why I want the Minnesota Vikings to get at a quarterback, man. I don't care what Kirk Cousins do in the offseason. Oh, he a good man. He a good father. Man, I don't care about none of that. I care about the Minnesota Vikings, not Kirk Cousins' personal life. So I don't even want to watch the documentary.
So said I'm good
Drop
on
the
that.
mic.
For real. I seen
Drop the mic.
Hey Yogi, I seen all I had to see in the last 5 years.
Oh my
So ain't
God.
nothing he could do off cameras could convince me he's the quarterback we need to move forward.
Right.
Facts.
I feel it. I feel it. I feel it.
And then you know what makes it worse though, and Yogi, the thing that made it worse is seeing Patrick Mahomes doing what he was doing, man. Like they was showing highlights of how he throws off his back foot and how all these weird underarm throws he got from because he used to play baseball or whatever.
Yep.
And it's just like how skilled he is. And I remember what they were saying about him in the draft. They were saying he was a project. Well, I'll take that project. If I can get a quarterback with all that potential, I mean, goodness gracious, man. It just makes me feel like, dang, Andy Reid seen something and he went and got it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't
Dave
lying.
Dave does bring up a good point. It is well produced. It is well produced.
Yeah, it probably is though, man. I ain't trying to see how the quarterback live off the football field. I ain't lying to you. This ain't MTV Cribs.
Right.
I'm trying to see him doing on that football field. That's all
a
that
fact,
matters
though.
to me.
That's a fact,
Shit.
man.
I was
Like,
never
I'd
a
be-
Kirk Cousins fan. I was a Minnesota Viking fan before Kirk Cousins. So I don't care how good of a father, how good of a man he is. Then did y'all see that answer he had when he responded to what Justin Jefferson said about the best quarterbacks in the NFL?
What was his response?
Yeah, what was this?
He basically said he don't pay that no mind, and his list is his list. And he was talking a bunch of sideways. Not what I want to hear. What he should have said was, "I'm gonna do better this year so I can make the list."
Right.
He just danced all around it though, for real. I'm like, man,
Because he got to watch what he said because you know the star player of the team is Justin Jefferson. So once you get Justin Jefferson to turn on this, or definitely it might be a trade mid-season if he gets on.
Yeah, but you should have said I'm gonna play better. So his next list, I'll make that top 5.
Right.
I gotta.
He don't got that mentality, bro.
That's
He
what
don't
I'm
got that
saying, like-
mentality, man. His mentality is very passive. Like
It just script. It like everything is just script.
yeah.
He like a robot.
Like what Rap said earlier, he was saying he's like a beta, man. He's like a beta male, man. Like he's just like he's not an alpha. Like he's a good quarterback, but he doesn't have that mindset where, yo, if we're down by 20 in the fourth quarter, there's only 5 minutes left. He doesn't have that mentality to put a team on his back and come back, man. He's just like, and then he doesn't have the mentality. He gets so nervous and shook that he wouldn't call an audible in that situation. He'll be like, man, whatever the coach calls, I'm going to do it. Even if you see on the field, you're on the field, you see that it's not going to work, he'll still do the play because he doesn't have that mentality. And that's what us Viking fans, we need a quarterback that has that winning mentality, man. And it's just not there, man. It's not there. You know what I mean? We witnessed it. You know what I mean? So we gotta figure out something, man, because this season right here is going to tell us everything we need to know. That's why we need to I'm not gonna say the Bulls' name because we didn't get to it yet. But we need all the help we can get to win a Super Bowl this year. Because this year right now that's coming up. If he doesn't produce the way he needs to produce, he gone.
Gots to go.
I don't care if he do produce, he gone. I ain't lying to you. I don't care what he do. Kirk Cousins can win us a Super Bowl. I still want his ass gone.
Oh, damn.
For real. Like, what more do you want? We won a Super Bowl. You want him for 3 more years?
Nah, I'm cool.
You know
on
what I'm
that,
saying? We
though.
won
Right.
the Super Bowl. He could leave on a high note. Everybody won.
Yeah.
Like, he already 35, 36 years old.
I don't know. That'd be hard for us not to let him go if he wins the Super Bowl. I mean,
Shit,
I don't know.
right.
I'll probably give him a year. I'll give him a year, another year.
He won 3 years though.
No, I give him 2 years with no player option, like no what's it called?
Trade
Trade
clause.
clause.
Trade
With
clause.
no trade clause. We can trade you anytime we want, and it's not fully guaranteed. Like we gotta stop with those contracts, man. Even though if he does win a Super Bowl, I might be like, yo, you can get what you want. 2 years though. But I feel like he's getting up there in age. We gotta start thinking
The future.
the future. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
So Bob,
No.
yeah, this is from Zoe.
What? Oh my God!
No.
Like what? Like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. If he ball out, like under pressure, he throwing down and getting out of pressure, stuff like that. But we never seen that. So for me to get on here and say, yeah, but the way we want Kirk Cousins to play to win a Super Bowl, we never seen that before. So
Right.
that's a fact. That's a fact. And you know, being from Pennsylvania and seeing the Eagle fans and the Steeler fans, you know what I mean, every time I go to Buffalo Wild Wings and all that, it really does suck because when I had my Viking gear on, they're like, how are you a Viking fan? And I'm just like, yeah, how are you an Eagles fan? Then they say I got a Super Bowl. And then the Steelers fans say I got 6 Super Bowls. And I'm like, I can't even say nothing about that shit. At that point, I can't really say nothing. But then I say this is what I say to them. We'll win our first Super Bowl before y'all win y'all second Super Bowl. And then I can't really say nothing to the Steelers, to the Eagle fans. And then I can't say nothing to the Steelers fans. It'll sound stupid for me to say we'll win our first Super Bowl before y'all win y'all 7th Super Bowl. I can't say that. It just sounds crazy to me. It sounds crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Shit,
7th Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Eagles got a better chance of winning a Super Bowl before the Steelers do.
I know, and Jalen Hurts. And then their defensive line. I don't even want to get into the Eagles because I know I'm being at that Phillies game on Thursday night. I'm gonna be talking my talk, man. I'm hoping I'm gonna be there. So I don't know, man. The Eagles look good though.
The Eagles game though, to me, they're gonna be like a measuring stick on how the Vikings got better this offseason or how they got worse.
Right.
If we get our ass kicked again against the Eagles, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. I want to see how they play against the Eagles, man. Because the shit last year was just horrible after the first quarter. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but yeah.
For real.
And Skull Mafia, I live like about probably like 25, 30 minutes. Like I live right outside of Philly. You know, Philly crazy right now. You cannot be living in Philly right now. If you live in Philly right now and you got a family, it ain't the best place to live right now.
Hey, what's up? We got Reginald in the building. He must be a Lions fan right there. He must be a Lions fan. Come tap in.
Uncle.
Talk your
That's
talk.
my
That's
uncle.
Hey, what up, Unc? What up, Unc?
He a diehard Lion fan. Lions of Michigan.
Oh gosh. The only thing the Lions had was Barry Sanders, so that's the only thing they can really, you know what I mean? It's the only thing they really had that was good.
Hey, the Lions are gonna be Lions.
Yeah, Megatron too. Megatron. But that's it. Who else they had?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. But we in the same boat with them though, because we ain't never win a Super Bowl.
That's the part I hate, man. Hey, that's
you get what I'm saying, bro?
Hey, when we be going back and forth, they say y'all never won shit like us. Oh my God. I'll be lying. Yeah.
That's the funniest thing though. Like it's hard to really talk trash to people that haven't won a Super Bowl because we haven't won, and then it's really hard to talk trash to people that have Super Bowls because we don't have nothing. It's just like Eagles, like it's like
yeah. But you know what crazy though? It seems like the Vikings are cursed, man.
Oh, don't say that, man.
Every time we get to that NFC Championship game, man, the worst happen, man. Every year, the Brett Favre crazy interception at the end.
Oh my God! All we needed was a field goal.
No,
he could have went out of bounds.
Then back in '98, when my man missed that field goal, a chip shot, when we had the best offense in that field against the Falcons, we missed that.
I got one. What's the year when the Vikings went against the Seahawks? And I think it was either a wild card game, and then our kicker kicked it far left or far right. What year was that?
With Teddy Bridgewater, the quarterback.
Yeah, what year was that, bro? Because that year pissed me off, bro. Like I said, yo, how does this happen? We drove all the way down the field. It was like a 20-yard field goal, and he kicks it wide left. I said, you can't make this shit up.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You can't make this up.
Yep, my worthless opinion's got a good statement. It's easy to cheer for a team that has titles.
That's a fact, though. That's how you know we real fans out here. That's why we the best fan base in the whole NFL right now. I don't care what nobody says, man. Skol all day.
For real.
For real. But yeah, that was crazy. It's always something. You're right. Like a field goal, and then Brett Favre not throwing that interception when all he had to do was go out of bounds.
That was so crazy. Or take the sack.
We could have had a field goal. Or take the sack. We all need a field goal to win that game, I believe. I think that's the same game. And then Adrian Peterson was fumbling like he couldn't stop fumbling. I don't know what he was doing that game. Like, I love AP. I got his autograph. But that game right there, I looked it up. He fumbled twice, they say. I think they meant like he lost the ball twice, but I know he fumbled a lot more than 2 times that game.
Right.
Had to. We just didn't lose the possession. But it was crazy, man. That game was crazy. Like Adrian Peterson will break like 50 tackles, and then it'll be one little tackle, he'll fumble. I'm just like, how does this happen, man? How? But it's the history of the Vikings. But it's exciting because we got a chance to win this year. I think that we still got a chance, man. Even with Kirk Cousins as our quarterback, we got a chance to win the division because the division is up in the air right now.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
made a video the other day. The Minnesota Vikings should have the top offense in the NFC this year, man.
Facts.
For real.
Facts.
If we fix the blocking situation, like they might pull somebody. I don't know what they could do with that though, but if they could fix that, then we could fix the little run game a little bit. We got the best receiver in the NFL. We got a top 5 tight end. We just need Ja to come aboard and go crazy. Then we got
real
KJ.
talk. Real talk. Everybody hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to everybody to all the channels in the building. But make sure I hit the like button, man, so we can spread the word out. Because this is Vike Nation over here, man. We trying to spread the word out to as many people as possible. You know what I'm saying? But make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to each of our channels.
This is the first time. Hey, this is the first time in Viking history and podcasting, 3 people that linked up out the blue and started a show for the Vikings.
That's a fact, man.
I was
the last one in the group. You know what I mean? Like they said, yo, put Mike in there. Throw Mike in.
No, we all started at the same time. We started at the same time.
I know we started at the same time, but I thought I was like I think y'all just randomly picked me in the squad, man. How did that happen?
Yogi, I don't. You got the Yogi shit. I don't know.
I be watching your videos, man.
Okay. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I like your vibes. I was like,
the vibes, baby.
I rock
the vibes. Good vibes.
Yeah.
But real talk though, man, I think we do have a chance, y'all. And Yogi, if you can one more final thought about the Netflix series. I'm gonna say this again because I know a lot of people. There's a lot of Kirk Cousins fans out there. This is no disrespect to Kirk Cousins. I mean this in no disrespect. But at the end of the day, do you love the Vikings or do you love Kirk Cousins? If you love the Vikings, Kirk Cousins is a high possibility. I'm talking about 95.9% chance that he ain't going to be successful this year winning a Super Bowl. And I'm just keeping it real. And if he doesn't, we have to move on. I don't care about his regular season stat numbers. Only thing that matters is in the postseason and getting to the dang on Super Bowl and winning it. That's all I gotta say
But
about
look, though, hold on, look.
I mean,
Hey, I got the number one Lion fan right here, man. He love the raggedy ass Lions, dog.
nah, man, we don't mess with the Lions over here.
No,
Miss
he
White
get on
Nation
my
over
head
here, man.
about them.
we don't mess with the Lions over here, man.
They think they gonna win a division. That's all I hear about.
Hey, Zoe, you made the right choice, man. You made the right choice, bro. Even though we ain't win shit, we ain't
That's
win
all I
nothing.
hear
But
about. We gonna win the division. We gonna win the division this year.
Hey, what up? What up? What up? We got Davey Chains, our first guest of the night. How you doing, big dog? Welcome back.
Let's go, man.
How are you guys? Have you
How
ever
you
get the
feeling,
feeling?
Davey?
I'm doing pretty good. Have you guys ever get the feeling that it's always going to be something that's going to screw us?
Hey, good luck this year, boys.
Yes, it's like Murphy's Law. Something's bound to happen.
I think they call it. You know, it's the Ed Thorpe curse. Do you guys know what Ed Thorpe is?
No.
Ed Thorpe was like this very famous referee and sports writer during like the 30s and 40s, and they named a trophy after him. And the winner of the NFL title before the merger got the Ed Thorpe Trophy. So when we won the Ed Thorpe Trophy after the 1969 season, just before the Super Bowl, we lost the trophy. And since then, we've supposedly been cursed by Ed Thorpe. And you know where they finally found the trophy? The Green Bay Packers had it. Somebody from the Packers organization was also working for the Vikings organization, or they knew somebody, and they took the trophy, and it wound up in the Packer trophy case.
Man, that does not surprise me.
You ain't lying. That's crazy, man. Like, damn, man. Like, man, I want a Super Bowl so bad while I'm still alive from the Minnesota Vikings, man.
No, man.
For real.
It's a damn shame. Ain't it something?
The shit I be hearing from the Lions fan from the crib, tell me y'all ain't shit neither. Y'all had all them good teams. Y'all ain't did nothing. I'll be like, you ain't lying. We have
you ain't even lie.
Like, damn.
Yo, it's sad though, man.
I'm like, damn, we do be fumbling at the end. Like they scared. It's like they scared to be great.
That is true. Hey, Davey, what's your take on the Netflix show? Have you been watching it?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. My mom's in the hospital, so I've been spending a lot of time in the hospital. And
sorry to hear about that.
Yeah. But yeah, she's doing okay. But I don't know what's going on with the the Netflix thing. I live on the East Coast. I don't get very much Viking news unless I watch you guys. So I'm kind of ignorant about what goes on. But I don't know. Let me ask you something. What do you guys think about them bringing back Cook and a few other guys? I mean, I got my own opinions on that.
Yeah, me too.
On Cook, I popped him up on the screen. I'm at the point where I'm past it. I've already ripped that Band-Aid. He's gone. I think it's time for Madison to shine and be our RB1. I think, we signed him right after, gave him that contract. I think it's his time to step up and fill them shoes and be our new RB1.
I'm not trying to be funny or sarcastic here, but it seems like this organization just loves messing with us, the fans. We have to be one of the most tortured fan bases, in all of pro football. And it just seems whatever they do, they never make us happy. They always make us miserable. And I don't understand. No, seriously. I don't understand why bringing back all these players are going to help us when they were here. We didn't get to the next level,
Who else they trying to bring back?
I think Ngakoue.
Oh, I like
the big
him.
name is Cook. The big name is Cook right now. They're talking about
straight.
bringing back Cook for like $7 million.
I'm straight. See, my thing is, we got 3 running backs. We just drafted a running back. Then my thing is, if you want to bring Cook back for $7 million, Why you want to go sign some offensive linemen for $7 million though? You probably can sign 2 offensive linemen for $7 million. But you want to bring Cook back to take away from the young running backs we had, like because Cook played last year and Madison played last year. We don't know what Todd Chandler could even do. So he a big question mark.
Good point.
So we need. So I'm all about letting a young player play to see what we have in the future. Todd Chandler, we don't know. We don't know if he can play or not. So Dalvin Cook would just be taking space and taking the ball away from younger players. I'm straight on Cook. Cook can go somewhere else. I'm straight. You should have took that pay cut a couple months ago. Like Yogi said, I done moved on from that. We on to something else.
Yeah.
Build
Hey,
that
we got
offensive
D
line
Woods
up.
in the building. Welcome back. If y'all don't
Woods
know,
in the
this is our
building.
boy D Woods. Gold State of Mind. How you doing
Gold
this
State
week,
of Mind's
man?
in the building.
You got your water bottle ready?
Hey, I got mixed feelings.
Your mic, your mic is muted.
Mike's muted, bro.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm at home today, so I can get it in today. I got 2 water bottles waiting for me today. You know, I'm ready to go. You know, I got my
that Gatorade in. He's got the
special Vikings
electrolytes.
draft hat. You know, ready to go.
Well, hey, we know you haven't watched the Netflix series, so we ain't gonna spoil anything for you, D.
I watched the first episode, and I actually I like it. I like it a lot, man. I think it's pretty dope. Like, yeah, I like how they basically got 3 different quarterbacks that's got 3 different scenarios that they can, talk about. Like, Pat Mahomes is the man. Kirk Cousins is the middle of the field quarterback, and you got another quarterback that was drafted high in Mariota that's basically never panned out. That's kind of cool. You can kind of see the storylines in between. That's pretty dope. I ain't really tripping on how they talk about Kirk Cousins because it is what it is, man.
Yeah. What I would have liked if they would have done it like at episode each week and not dropped it all on us to where you got that time from the draft or OTAs all the way until training camp to have something like I guess because we're all like content creators that give us something each week, because now they just dump it on us, and people are just fucking binge watching it and are just
I'm a slow play it. Like I ain't finna watch it like all in one day. That's why I haven't really been online, or because everybody talking about it and they're trying to ruin it for everybody who ain't watched it yet. But Zoe, you need to watch it though, man. Zoe ain't listening right now. You need to watch it though. It's pretty dope. Production wise, it's pretty good. What up with you, Mike?
Yo, bro, what's good with it? I'm gonna get to Dalvin Cook. I got mixed feelings with Dalvin Cook. This year right here is so important for the Minnesota Vikings franchise, and I feel like we need to put all the chips in the middle and just go for it, man. The best running back out of all of them, in my opinion, still was Dalvin Cook.
Still Dalvin.
So bring him back for $7 million, 1-year deal. Call it a day. See what happens, because I don't want no more excuses for Kirk Cousins, man. Because if Madison isn't the guy, or Ty Chandler isn't the guy, or McBride ain't the guy, I don't want this excuse, well, we didn't have a running game. You know what I mean? But I understand what Zoe was saying about the offensive line. If we could somehow, instead of giving Dalvin the $7 million, get an offensive guard, which we desperately need, because like I said, Ed Ingram, he gave up the most sacks, 11 sacks. He was first out of all the players. He was number 1 in sacks allowed. That's bad, y'all. Do y'all not know how bad that is? He allowed 11 sacks. I know he was a rookie, but damn, they could have did something to help the man out. Have the running back help out, something. That was terrible. So I want to just put all the chips in the middle. That's why I was talking about the Tom Brady stuff. Like, I just want to just try 1 year, and then next year it's going to be the rebuilding stage when it comes to our quarterback and going from there. But I like Dalvin Cook. I still think that he has a lot in the tank, and I just think if the offensive line was a little bit better, I think he would have had a lot more yards. And what he had, like 1,100?
Yeah.
He would have had easily 1,400 yards if the offensive line was more consistent and not constantly hurt. You know what I mean? A lot of our offensive linemen got hurt. So
I think though too, like with the Cook situation though, I think that's on like KLC for being dumb in his play calling, like being like 3rd and 2 and then calling a pass play. Like that's just stupid. Just run the ball and get the last 2 yards though. But I'm real quick though. What y'all think about JJ and his whole little 5 quarterback situation? Y'all didn't talk about it already.
Shit, he kept it real.
I thought he was a sucker for that.
How?
I thought he was a sucker for that. For real. That's how I feel about it though, right? Like that's how I feel about it. Like honestly though, right? If you really agreeing with JJ when he become a big time diva, you can have him for real. Because that's what we about to start seeing real quick. Because for JJ to be that smart, you don't even answer that question. You get what I'm saying? You don't even want to bring the training camp to have that to have that question. You don't do that. He was a sucker for that, straight up.
Okay, but you know, AD was. You know how he was.
I'm waiting for you, Zoe.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
You know how he was no sucker for that answer?
Why?
First off, he kept it real. You got respect somebody that kept it real. And second off, he tired of playing with Kirk Cousins in so many words. He want a new quarterback. He's seen all the young quarterbacks come to the NFL and having success, and he's still playing with Kirk Cousins with 2 or 3 years in since he's been in the NFL. It might be longer. He want a new quarterback in so many words. He tired of playing with Kirk Cousins. And you know he's not on top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
I'm not saying that Kirk Cousins is top 5 though. But what I'm saying is though, as JJ, as to have confidence in the person that's throwing you the ball, you don't even answer that question or entertain it because y'all got to go in training camp. That's why I'm saying it was a sucker. Even it was a sucker move because even though Kirk Cousins is not in that realm of those quarterbacks up there, you don't even allow yourself a question to answer that shit because that's your guy. So now when they go to training camp, that's going to be a conversation in everybody, all the receiver rooms, all the quarterback room. Hey, what you think about this? JJ said, what you think about it? You just put a X on Kirk Cousins' back for no reason when he already had one. But you are supposed to be you're supposed to be the best receiver in the league, right? Be smarter than that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like we might have a diva on our hands, and it might be worse than Stephon Diggs. All honestly, because Diggs never did that shit. No, Diggs never did shit like that, did he?
First off, Diggs never came out the way JJ came out in the NFL. And first off, he tired of playing with Kirk Cousins. He want a new quarterback.
He ain't got no choice, though.
He do got choice. That's why
he ain't got no choice. Okay.
That's why he said
let him sit center, throw the ball in the air, run his yards, and catch it himself. He ain't got no choice. He knows damn well Kirk Cousins, the best quarterback he's playing with right now. He needs to just get off Joe Burrow's sack and leave him alone already. That's what it's about. I'm just gonna be completely real about it. That's how I see it. Yeah, he gone already. He's gone already. I only been on this 5 minutes and he already gone, man.
We got rap in the building.
What up, Zoe? See, got to hot for you? See,
just a day in the building.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
He want a new quarterback.
JJ was a sucker for that. Yo, do you agree with me?
Yeah, he's a sucker for
that question.
He want a new quarterback.
How are you gonna think about? Go ahead, Yogi.
Yeah, I can see how.
All right, now you gotta have that same energy.
The question, or stuck up for his quarterback.
Yeah, it's your quarterback.
He want a new one.
But now you got a locker room that's gonna be divided because he said that.
The locker room. The locker room been divided when he did that check down, man. The locker room said he is what he is. We ain't think the shit was true until he did that check down. TJ was like, I can't believe he threw me the ball.
But Woods, you gotta keep that same energy.
Not me.
I'm a
What's up, Mike?
TJ, like I'm a decoy.
You gotta keep that same energy, Woods, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Kirk Cousins say when he was asked about Dalvin Cook, he was saying, "Oh, I want him back." What's that say about the other running backs on the squad? He should have just said, "Man." I know it. No, because the way
it's not the same thing because only one player plays quarterback at one time. You can't put 2 quarterbacks in. There's no quarterback by committee.
No,
but there's no quarterback committee. No. You got these running backs that didn't get they need an opportunity. So if Dalvin Cook comes back, who's going to be the running back one? It's going to be Dalvin. You know what I'm saying? So for him to stay,
that quarterback kept by committee.
you know what the-
Yeah, if you got two quarterbacks, you ain't got one.
well, Jaron Hall might be the quarterback. I can't wait until preseason. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see Jaron Hall. Can't wait. I want to see something. I'm just tired of
JJ is tired of playing with Kirk Cousins, man. And by him saying the top 5 quarterback list, he landed Minnesota Vikings. No, don't give this man a new contract, man. He is not.
Hey. If we trade JJ for 3 first-round picks, he won't have to worry about playing with.
Exactly. I feel you, Yogi. We ain't got to worry about. He ain't got to worry about that for real. Because I'm just saying, all honesty though, his list is accurate. It's right. Like I have nothing against the players.
Not the right place.
It's not the right place to do that. You don't do that to your quarterback, to the guy that's going to be throwing you the ball. You don't do that. You just don't.
So let me ask y'all this. So the problem is JJ keeping it real, or the problem is Kirk Cousins not playing to his full potential?
Is JJ keeping it real right now?
Huh?
When keeping it real goes wrong. You seen Dave Chappelle's show, when keeping it real goes wrong, right? You seen that. You know what it is.
Can get you canceled. What did Will Smith do to Rock?
All I'm saying is, though, is
kept it real.
You don't say that about the guy behind, that's throwing you the ball. That's your quarterback. Kirk Cousins, don't get hurt. It's a possibility Kirk Cousins probably going to play all 17 games or whatever. You sidestep that question to give your quarterback some respect, even if you know he's not in that realm. You don't do that, because all you did right now is basically put Kirk Cousins you ain't even on this list. I don't even care about you like that. And now we having a conversation about it, and we really shouldn't.
I feel you. I feel you.
That was some shit to me.
I feel you 100%. But what you don't know is he tired of that man being his damn quarterback.
I don't think
Desmond not doing anything.
My worthless opinion brought up a good point.
He got what's my man name in the Bengal? Chase. What's his name?
Chase Young. Oh.
No, the receiver from LSU.
Jamar
Chase. He got Jamar Chase playing with Joe Burrow. He seen all these young quarterbacks coming in having success. Then he playing with somebody who's scared to be great because he worried about what people gonna think of him. I'm tired of playing with him. So since y'all ain't gonna do nothing about Kirk Cousins, I'm gonna come out and give y'all my top 5 list. I'm gonna do it every time they ask me a question about top quarterbacks in the NFL. He would never make the list.
I bet you the next time they ask him again, because they're gonna ask him again, it's top 5. He gonna sidestep that question because Viking manager gonna be like, "Yo, bro, what are you doing? Yo, bro, what is wrong with you? You don't do that." Like that's it was a sucker move, man. I did not like that. I didn't like that at all. And I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is all world. You just don't do that to your quarterback.
AD Woods.
What up, Zoe?
How would you feel if you were a top quarterback a top wide receiver in the NFL, and you play with a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, who not mobile? We ain't never seen Justin Jefferson play off script in the NFL.
I'm gonna love to answer this question because I got this.
But look, answer it. And you a top receiver in the NFL, and you never.
How would you answer that?
Huh?
This is what I do.
Go ahead, though.
That's what I do.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
You never played with a quarterback who play off script in the NFL. Every time it get hard, he crumble. He can't avoid a sack.
Don't move the goalpost, though. Don't move the goalpost. Don't move the goalpost too much. You're moving it around too much.
You give him too much to work with. You're
moving around too much. Yeah, you got to keep it like
it's all together, though.
Okay. In a way. And I'm gonna tell you how I answer. And this is how I answer. If I'm JJ, this is what I'm doing. Every day in practice, yo, Kirk, I'm open. Yo, Kirk, this is what I see. This is what I see out there. Boom, boom, boom. Let's work on this. Let's work on this or whatever. You got to do that. You got to build his ego. So when he in positions to where he don't know he in, unfamiliar territory, he throw that ball. We would have never had that Bills game if Kirk Cousins didn't have the cojones to throw that ball down the field.
That was regular season. That's regular season.
Oh my! See, now you moving the goalposts.
No,
now you moving the goalposts.
No, but my thing is though,
I answered the question though. Didn't I answer the question, guys?
So why he do that? Why he
That's
do
how
that?
you do it.
Play in the
Because
playoffs?
we said this the last time I was on here, and I don't even blame that play on Kirk Cousins. Every route on that play shouldn't have been down the field. That's on KLC for having any short routes. That's how I feel about it.
No,
because he didn't do it all season.
No,
All season he didn't do that.
If I tell you throw the ball to A, B, or C, D is just a decoy. D is out of the play. You throw the ball to A, B, or C. D is just a decoy. Don't worry about D. And you throw the ball to D. You throw the ball to the decoy. You throw the ball to the
RL.
There you go. He got his Madden terminology better today.
You said what?
You got your Madden terminology better today, do you? I see you worked on that, huh? I see. But
for real though, man.
Triangle, square.
Yeah, I can get the controller for you. You want it, man? I can't.
For real though. They told him. Throw the ball.
I don't think they told him. They just told him. You know, I think Kurt was really thinking that TJ can break a tackle here and there.
Man, bro, he been.
Bro,
I ain't blaming that on Kurt.
For 10 years.
I don't blame that on Kurt.
How? He been in the NFL for 10 years. He is a veteran in the NFL. I should have
all I'm gonna say on the Kirk Cousins tip. All I'm gonna say on the Kirk Cousins tip right now is when we get a new quarterback that's trash.
Yes.
Have that same energy. Have that same energy. For real. Because y'all gonna be the same with them. Y'all gonna be in the room looking in the mirror like, damn, I missed Kirk Cousins.
Hold on, Woods.
What are we missing out?
Hold on, Woods. Are you saying?
What is Kirk Cousins giving up, D Wood?
Hold on, Zell, real quick.
Mike.
Hey, so Woods, are you saying that you want to keep Kirk Cousins past this season and not draft our quarterback in 2024?
He like Kirk Cousins.
I would.
Hold on, man. I just want to get the specifics.
I would love to draft a young quarterback and develop him. I would, but you gotta think about it like this: the longer we wait for a young quarterback, we might be in a win mode now. So I'd rather have Kirk Cousins than have a rookie that's not ready yet.
Kirk Cousins not ready.
And this is the thing. How do you know he might not be ready? Just because he's a rookie don't mean he ain't gonna be ready, man. That's what I'm saying. You never know. You just never know. That's why I say it's up to the coach's job to draft the player that they want, that they see fit for this potential for this franchise, man. So we got to stop thinking like it's not like it. I mean, probably is like Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers. It's not like was it Alex Smith and then Patrick Mahomes. It's not like that. A lot of these quarterbacks are just starting right away now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it is up to the coach to make that decision. Like, I don't want to have our first round pick sit behind Kirk Cousins another season. I don't want to see Kirk Cousins again. And I'll see him on another team, but I don't want to see him again in the purple. I don't want to see him in the purple. Let's get him out of here. Hasta luego, adios, hasta la vista. Okay. We don't want him.
Hey,
if we don't win a Super Bowl, it's over.
It's gonna turn to the Kirk Cousins hate group.
Yeah,
I love Kirk Cousins. I love Kirk Cousins. I just don't want him on the squad no more.
Hey, he was.
What's up, Zoe?
You know how I know Kirk Cousins is just like kind of trash. The Falcons tried to trade for Ryan Tannehill and Kyler Murray. They never called the Minnesota Vikings about Kirk Cousins, but they wanted Ryan Tannehill, and he really trash.
The Atlanta Falcons is trash.
Shit,
that is true, though.
They want Kirk Cousins, though.
I think we have a biased opinion about Kirk Cousins because he's attached to this super big contract. I really honestly think we will have a different perspective if he made like $10 million less.
Man, you a damn liar. Man, listen here, man.
Yeah, I would respect that. I would like that.
What? Hey, listen here. In 5 years, he won one division and one playoff game in 5 years.
True.
So go. So
I'm rolling with Kirk, all right?
Yeah,
That's just who I.
Why do you want Kirk?
Who's your best quarterback in NFL right now? I'm dying to know. Who your top
Best
five?
quarterback in the NFL?
Your top
Pat
five list.
Mahomes.
Your top
Pat
five list,
Mahomes.
though.
Right now,
Yeah.
right now is Pat Mahomes. All right, is Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Hurts. Put Hurts up there. I like Hurts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And 5 is interchangeable to me because I really don't like Herbert and I really not too sure about Lawrence.
You right
So,
about that.
What
I'ma
about
just give
Lamar
you 4.
Jackson?
Oh yeah, Lamar Jackson, but he is his health though. His health don't really give him in the list because you got to be healthy down the stretch. If
I'll put him.
Lamar Jackson had Kirk Cousins' health, he'd be almost be number 2 or 3. But he can't stay healthy at the end of the season.
That's a good
So
point.
I'm gonna give you 4, and I'm gonna keep that 5th spot open because the other guys like I'm not pretty sure on. I don't really like. I don't like Justin Herbert that much because
Me neither.
I think he's a you lost a playoff game because you choked. Okay, like Lawrence, I don't know about him yet either. But the other 4, they're the top quarterbacks in the league.
But
Hands down.
But look though, bro, you've been watching the Vikings for 5 years, bro. How you gonna say Kirk Cousins is an okay quarterback though, bro?
Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback Vikings ever had.
Fuck no. What?
He is.
Man, what? No.
He is.
Man,
Somebody-
what? He the most
He
expensive
is.
quarterback.
Yo, somebody help me!
He is. He got all the stats. He about to bring all the stats.
Bro, I don't care. See, stat. I don't care about stats.
Hey, man.
What in the world am I
yo, y'all gotta get
listening
him
to
loose
right
today.
now? What
Hey,
did he just
Go
say?
get your towels, though. Go get your towels, because you about to be sweating in a minute, man. Go get your. You got it right there.
Hold on now. So Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in Minnesota Viking history?
Oh,
That I've
hell
seen. That
no.
I've seen.
Dante Culpepper, Randall
Hell no.
Thank you. Thank
Hell
you.
no.
Kirk Cousins is
Get your
trash.
Hell no.
Yo.
Who better than
Yeah,
Kirk? Who better than Kirk? Who better than Kirk?
Oh,
You really want me to go down that list?
oh.
You really want me to go down that list?
Please
Get him,
do.
Tony.
Please
You
do.
really want me to go down that list?
Well, shit, you said it 2 times. You ain't without a list. What's taking you so long?
How many Super Bowls Kirk been to?
None.
Fran Tarkenton went to 3. Joe Cap went to 1.
How many NFC championship games he been to?
Man, I ain't seen them play. I ain't never seen them play. I ain't never seen them
The only thing Kirk is good at is putting up stats. That's
And
it.
getting money.
And money. And money. He sucks.
Yeah, I can't.
You know what? If you want to talk some trash like that, you need to learn some history, brother. You need to learn some history. We've had real quarterbacks up here. We've
Grab
had
your water bottles, everybody. Grab your
ain't
drinks.
Kirk.
Grab your popcorn.
I said that I've seen. Okay?
Okay, you know what? Go on YouTube and watch some old highlights. You'll see a real
I
quarterback.
need to. I'm going to watch Kirk
Go
Cousins.
on YouTube, watch some real quarterbacks win some real football games
Oh my
against real
God.
football players.
Hey, Kirk Cousins got
Yo.
one statement win through the whole years in Minnesota. That was against Buffalo in the regular season and the Saints in the playoff game 2 years ago.
Yeah, the Saints game.
The Saints won more than anything. That kind of took the monkey off his back.
Yeah, what I'm
But
saying.
he was right back to being Kirk in San Francisco the next week.
Okay,
Case
Tony Bell,
Keenum
you
got
know
more
the
wins
history
than Kirk Cousins.
Thank you.
Case Keenum has more wins than Kirk Cousins right now as we speak.
in the
And he
playoffs.
ain't getting paid like that. In the playoffs.
In the
I'm talking about
playoffs, yeah.
That's what
And when it
that's what
comes
I
to
said, Mike. That's what I said
Yeah.
before, Mike, like
That
5
would
minutes
matter.
ago. I said we'd have a different perspective on Kirk Cousins if he had $10 million less on his salary. We wouldn't be talking so much. I think it's inflated because
Well,
of his salary.
okay, so here's the thing with Kirk. The guaranteed money he got will make his performance look even more in a microscope. But this is the same Kirk that was in Washington. It's the same one that was at Michigan State. He's not a winner. He's not.
So Tony Bell, what would you do at quarterback then? If you know, since you want to give us a history lesson, Mr. Historian, let me know what you're doing.
Oh, what would I do?
Yeah, what would you do? You got the spotlight, bro. Let us know what you gonna do.
I would either draft a quarterback or look for a veteran that fit my system?
Give me some examples of a veteran that fits your system.
I don't know because I don't know what KOC is trying to do. I still don't know what he's trying to do.
This is what I'm talking about. Everybody be screaming, Kirk Cousins gotta go, Kirk Cousins gotta go. And when you ask them about a plan, they ain't got no plan.
I got a plan.
I got
They ain't got no plan.
Put it this way. Okay,
That's my whole thing, though.
Here's what you're missing the point.
And you don't have a
You
plan.
are missing the point. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the
Oh man, I'm
right now. Right
I'm
now.
just sit back and listen to your non-plan.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Right now, Quezzy and KLC have to win right now. KLC wants his own quarterback. He doesn't want to be stuck with Kirk. If he's stuck with Kirk, his coaching career is over, and Quezzy's GM career is over. It's over. The only ones, and I said this last week, the only ones that want to keep Kirk around are Ziggy Wilf, Mark Wilf, and Andrew Miller. Why? Because of ticket sales, and as long as they're better than the Green Bay Packers, they're fine.
Who Andrew Miller?
Andrew Miller's the COO. He took over what Kevin Warren used to do.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that are calling the shots. Put it this
Tony.
Here's what this is what people miss too. If the Vikings had went through and hired Jim Harbaugh like they planned on it, what's his name wouldn't be here. Kirk wouldn't be here.
Oh, damn, we should have hired him.
They were gonna clean house. Quezzy wanted to hire Harbaugh.
Hey, for all the Lions fans in the building,
over some BS.
Going to the Lions.
I still think he's going to the Lions. Who? I think he goes to the Lions. Harbaugh. I think he goes to the Lions. So right now, the future of KOC and Quezzy is attached to Kirk. It's attached to Kirk, and if I'm either one of those guys, I don't want my future attached to those guys. I'm sorry. I don't care about the stats. There were moments last year where O'Connell looked pretty ticked off on the sidelines at Kirk over some play calls. Yeah. It was obvious. Yeah, he's got the stats. Never said he didn't have the ability. He's got the ability. He does. I give him that. He's a quarterback. But if it's not picture perfect for Kirk, he doesn't know how to ad-lib, and he freezes up under pressure, and he cannot handle when the lights get brighter. He just can't. He doesn't have it.
Talk that talk.
He doesn't.
I like Tony too. I like Tony too, but Tony kind of double dutched my question. He didn't really give me a good, accurate answer.
Whoa. Oh, hold on. No, you ain't calling me out like that. What did I double dutch? What did I
You play a double dutch. Let me get in too. If you play a double dutch, if we
what question?
I'm just saying. The question was, what would you do at quarterback?
I answered it.
This is what I would do.
I answered it. What the hell are you talking about? Check your mic.
I'm trading a 4th round pick to the Panthers. For Matt Corral. I'm trading Nick Mullins to the Raiders for whatever I could get. Next year, I'm drafting a quarterback.
Actually, you know what? Trade Nick Mullins and a draft choice to the Raiders. Bring in Max Crosby somehow.
Yes.
I got a better one though for y'all.
Oh, talk, Joe.
We draft a quarterback this year in the offseason. We have a quarterback in the 1st round that's ready to play. Hell, y'all gonna be mad at him. He can't play. It don't matter. We just want him to play for a few games. We can sign Jameis Winston for a 1-year deal just to play 5-7 games. That's all we need to get the rookie quarterback ready.
Yeah, because that's all you'll get out of Jameis is 5 or 7 games.
5-7 games.
Like 15 interceptions.
Huh? You say who?
I said stop the cat.
What? Jameson?
No, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
But look, what difference do it make? We just want the rookie quarterback. I don't care who the veteran quarterback is.
Hey, you know what? So this might be rare, but I agree with you on the James. I'll take James on a 1-year rental just to develop a quarterback for a couple of games.
I like you though.
I'll do that too. But you already know my scenario. What I would do, what I'll be doing right now.
What?
I'll be trying to trade JJ.
Yeah,
and I'll be trying to get enough picks.
Well, JJ,
I'll be trying to get as much picks as I can to have enough ammunition.
Well, let me double back on what D Wood said about the whole locker room thing, about what JJ said. It really, players have been talking in that locker room for years about Kirk, so it's nothing new at all. The only ones that are trying to spin positivity on it is the Vikings front office. They're the only ones. But as far as Kirk and JJ not having any mesh on the field this year, it would benefit Kirk to mesh with JJ because guess what? He can use it next year in negotiations for a contract if he doesn't re-sign with the Vikings. And for JJ, it looks good for him because guess what? If everything falls apart, he could be traded. You'll get a number one for JJ. You will. But I don't think him saying what he ain't saying nothing that hasn't been said in every NFL locker room for the last 7-8 years. He's not.
I get you, Tony. I just felt like, he wasn't wrong with the players that he listed. Like I agree with them. I just felt like some type of way that you don't even let yourself be, answering that question. You sidestep that a little bit. You be a little smart, with what you say.
And he's young too, so he's going to get put on the spot.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the public eye now. He's on the red carpets. He's doing all that. So yeah, he's going to say some things, but I don't think. Like I said, he didn't say anything that the rest of the league don't say themselves.
Yeah, he hasn't, but it just came from him. What up, Yogi? What you were saying, Yogi?
Would you have felt different if it was a different position, a top 5 different position, like something on the defense? And a Viking wasn't on it, but since it was a quarterback and he gets the ball from the quarterback, he shouldn't have answered.
Well, unfortunately, nowadays, your quarterback is like the vocal point of the franchise. And that's the way the NFL wants it. They want to make their money off these starting quarterbacks. So naturally, if he had said it about a defensive player, who cares? The defense was 31. The defense was saying it about Kirk, and it's not Kirk. Guess who fed him the question? National media. So the national media has said the same thing about Kirk for years. It's right. Not. JJ's not saying anything so controversial and all that other stuff. The national media says it every damn Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and every other week during the football season about Kirk Cousins. So for JJ, and for JJ, he just answered the question truthfully. You got to give him credit for answering the question. The way he did. At least he answered. He didn't dodge it.
I feel that by David Chains. You don't do that, man. I just feel some type of way about it.
You don't. But how long we been Viking fans?
Yeah,
who was calling Kirk? Who was in the locker room calling Kirk ass years ago?
He wasn't in the locker room. He just did it on Twitter. We're gonna be accurate with it.
You see what Kyle Rudolph said when he left?
Kyle Rudolph didn't even. Kyle Rudolph didn't say a word. Kyle Rudolph just said everybody else, but he left Kirk out. Exactly. If that doesn't tell you anything right there.
Exactly.
The problem is they're trying to make everything nice for Kirk.
But
he can't deal with conflict.
He's a quarterback.
No. He can't. No, he can't deal with conflict. Doesn't matter if he's a quarterback or not. He's so fragile.
He doesn't like competition.
Thank you. Why do you think what's his name? Why do you think what's his name was his backup quarterback for how many years? What's that dude's name?
Hey Tony.
Hey,
is Kirk Cousins married to somebody in the Viking family?
No.
He ain't cool with none of them.
Oh, the ones he gets along with?
No, something off the field. I'm thinking he got some type of a close relationship with somebody in the upper management.
You know what? He keeps to himself. He's pretty private. He keeps to himself. He doesn't like hang out with there's a crew that hangs out together and stuff like that. He's a pretty private guy.
Pretty private.
Nice try, though. Nice try. You
Yeah,
failed.
they keep it real though. Kirk Cousins, they keep it real. Kirk Cousins, like he's a solid quarterback, but it's just when it counts, he's just not the guy.
He's solid.
He
That's
has
it.
to prove. He has to prove to the world that he can do it. After that great season last season, being 13-4, all those comeback wins, the media is still hating on Kirk because of what did he do the last game of the season
Because
against the Giants.
because
like,
was right.
Because they, well, first of all, you know, and Kirk will always be, as I call him, check down Charlie.
No, he didn't check it down last season though. He was
checked it down on the last offensive play of the year.
Oh yeah, that play. I'm talking about like throughout the season. He was balling out.
Here's the thing though. When he shouldn't have checked down, he checked down.
Yo, I can't stick up for Kirk for that. I can't.
Hey, Tony, real talk. I mean, you speaking facts. I ain't mad at you about that. I agree with you.
He has to prove
100%, Tony.
Mm-hmm. And see, here's the thing. Now, this is where I have a problem with Kirk. And I've seen enough quarterbacking in my lifetime to know some quarterbacks that they had the terrible stats, but they would force the ball to make something happen. Kirk won't do that. The Giants had like half the defense covering JJ, which meant somebody has single coverage.
Somebody was open.
And for Kirk, he throws it to Hawkinson. It's like you need 8 yards and you're throwing 3.
That was his fault, though. That was bad play call.
So Tony,
that play.
Shout out. We got Eric in the building.
Here's the thing: that play, the way that play was designed,
East Coast gridiron.
First of all, if it's designed like that, then the coach needs to be fired. You don't design a play that only gets you 3 yards and you need 8 yards for a first down.
All right, so did y'all see how that play was? Did he stop in the middle of his route, or did Kirk Cousins just throw it too quick? Because I don't.
Kirk threw it too quick. He was scared to get hit.
So maybe the route was designed for him to go a little bit further up, but Kirk got so scared because he's getting pressure up the middle.
I don't know. I mean, you had.
I'm trying to think of the play, but
you had Thielen, you had Osborne, and you had JJ. You knew JJ was getting the triple coverage, but you still.
But let's be. But let's be real though. That
Hawkinson was probably
that play never happens if KJ don't drop the ball on third down.
Huh?
That play doesn't happen if KJ doesn't drop the ball either. On third down,
who dropped the ball? KJ?
The play before dropped the ball.
Yeah, that was the first down too. That was the
first down. He dropped the first down on third down. And what I'm saying is though too, it's like I get the Kirk Cousins situation there like that. I blame KOC in that aspect because no route should be short of the sticks on that play.
That's what I'm saying. With me,
I've been trying to tell these guys that that's the problem.
But with me here's another problem with Kirk too.
What?
Kirk, this is Kirk to a T. Kirk, here's the deal. Any other quarterback, if that play had come in from the sideline, KLC said we're running this play. Any Hall of Fame quarterback would have been like, hell no, we're running this play that will get us past the sticks. Kirk doesn't do that.
He's a yes man.
He's a yes man.
He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't have it, man. I don't know, man.
Kirk's famous line at his press conference? Yeah, I don't know why that play didn't work. I have to look at the film to see why it didn't work. Really?
Yo.
You can't figure that out.
I would have threw KLC under the bus.
But the film don't lie.
They're not okay. Right? First of all, KLC got very lucky last year, winning 13 games. So
that was luck. We all got to agree with that. That was some lucky. That was luck.
They're feeling it this year,
especially the Colts game. The Buffalo game. Oh my gosh, the Buffalo game was just like.
You know what? I gave you my theory on the Colts game last week. I ain't gonna do it again.
Yeah. But that Buffalo game. That was amazing.
The only thing I can think of with the Buffalo game, and I could be wrong about this, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Does Josh Allen take most of his snaps from pistol when he's on offense? He's mostly in pistol position and not under center.
I believe so.
No, I think
he's a running back. That's why because he's a running back. That's why he needs to be there so they can give himself some that little fake.
Yeah, because as a quarterback center snap, that's elementary football, right, Yogi?
Right. Yeah.
So for him, it's like I don't know. Either he, well, I don't know.
Not that good.
I'm gonna put this out there. They are allowing legalized betting on football games in Vegas, so anything is possible. But you didn't hear that from me.
Hey, I tell y'all what. I just watched that last play against the Giants.
Cousin
had somebody across the middle who were way open than T.J. Hawkinson. He could have threw the ball.
All right, armchair quarterback.
Huh?
I know. Armchair quarterback. You know, Monday morning quarterback, whatever they call it. All I'm saying is the whole situation, KLC should have threw the play up to where no route is shorter than sticks. I'm done with it.
And I'll agree. I'll agree with you. I gotta agree with you on that one. I gotta agree with him on that one.
That's too much thinking.
Because at the end of the day, we're gonna sit there and dissect it. Oh, this guy was open, or that guy was open. Like it just becomes too much. At the end of the day, it was bad play calling. Every route should have been beyond the sticks. That simple.
No, right. Hold on.
I'm gonna tell you something. As far as dissecting plays and stuff, I've been dissecting. I'm still dissecting plays from Super Bowl 11 as a why the hell we lost, how the hell we fumbled at the goal line. It happened.
I ain't doing that, bro. I ain't got that much time on my hands. I ain't doing that, man. I'm gonna leave it on KLC for drawing up a bad play, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Well, at the end of the day, he's the quarterback, and he has to throw the ball beyond the sticks, man. I understand. Even if it was a bad play, he has to throw the ball beyond the sticks.
End of the day,
he has to throw it beyond the sticks, man.
At the end of the day, he has to go in that huddle. He has to basically tell that coach, "I'm not running this play." He's got to say,
"Stop being a yes man and call the play that's going to get us the damn first down."
Look. Let me argue this point real quick though, right? All y'all been saying that Kirk Cousins is a yes man. Kirk Cousins want to work on script or whatever, right? We all know this collectively. The five of us know this, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't think KLC knows that? So why the hell would you draw up a play for him to do what he's normally doing? You draw up a play that's down the field, so he won't do that.
That play might have been. We don't know. That play might have been drawn up down the field.
You already knew who he is, so why would you put him in a situation to fail when you throw the rocks down the field?
Okay. I got one for you. I got one for you, brother. Think about this. Everybody's got an incentive, right?
Yeah,
what is Kirk Cousins' incentive?
To do what?
What kind of incentive does he have?
What, to win football games?
Win, lose, or draw, he gets his money.
True.
Okay, so it don't matter what he does. He can throw that 3-yard pass. He still walk off the sideline making $94 million.
Talk to him.
So you saying he tanked on purpose?
Huh? He don't care. He doesn't care.
Man, y'all going I'm already got a receiving headline. I'm about to lose more of this shit today because of y'all.
I'm gonna make you
I gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch that play right now. I gotta watch that damn play. I gotta watch that damn play. There's too many excuses for Kirk Cousins. There's too many excuses.
I'm not really giving it an excuse. What I'm saying is,
bro.
You already know who the guy is. You know who the guy is. So why would you put the guy in a position to do what he normally does?
He's still throwing the ball.
You don't give him no check down.
He's the quarterback. He's already in that position. It's on him to win that game.
Hey, D Woods. Come on, bro.
What up, Zoe? What you got, Zoe?
Look, though. So can I ask you a question, bro?
You asked me a lot of questions. Keep going.
Yeah, but look, though. Like, we talked about this before, though. So why he ain't checked down against Buffalo?
Because it wasn't was it all the routes checked down or were all the routes downfield?
What do you mean?
Look at the play. I want since you missed the cameraman, go back, look at the play, and look how all the routes developed.
I'm looking at it. Hold on, I'm looking at it right now. Hold on, y'all.
Do the Buffalo game, Mike.
Right now.
Do the Buffalo game.
Hold on. I'm looking and seeing what it is. My freaking computer.
I want to see if all the routes for that play are down the field.
Boy, you like torturing yourself.
I'm not sure. I
So-
mean, look.
Hold on now, because
you look at that
hold
football
on now.
stance, you know, for Super Bowl 11, you look coaching yourself. What are you talking about?
What? Hey, I'm talking
You
about
watch your own Super
I'm
Bowl
talking
shit.
about when we had a football team.
Oh man! Oh, you one of them Viking fans. I'm so angry. We ain't got a football team. Ah! But you keep watching them. Come on, man. Which one is it?
Dude, okay, first of all, been a fan since 1971. Don't come at me with that bullshit, brother, because I'm going to come at you harder than you did come at me. Because there ain't a damn thing you can tell me.
I finally got somebody that can meet my match, and I'm ready for it. Because I hope he's ready too. We both have to have a heart attack today, going back and forth. If you're ready, and straight up.
But put it this way, you can't give me no more of a heart attack. You can't give me no more of a heart attack than this defense last year.
Oh, now you want to talk about the defense?
So
Oh, that's my specialty, brother.
So basically,
you talking to an ex-defensive lineman here.
I'm gonna break it down. KOC, bad play call. Kirk Cousins should have known to check out of it and do something different.
Yo, we got to, man.
He didn't, and he didn't. That's the whole thing. He didn't. He didn't. I mean, if you think of another quarterback from back in the day, even now, Tom Brady would have checked out of that.
Exactly.
Mahomes would have checked out of that.
There's too many excuses for Kirk, man.
Yeah, they would have checked out of it.
So Mike, we got the video up. Did you look at the play?
I'm looking at it. He just didn't even give the play any time. Like, I'm watching it.
No. See, y'all know I'm talking about the Buffalo play. The Buffalo play.
I'm talking about the Giant playoff game. He didn't give the game.
Look at the Buffalo play to JJ, because Zoe trying to make a point saying that, well, why he didn't check down on that play? I'm not sure.
Hey,
but
man,
I think
listen
all
here,
the routes
man.
are down the field.
The pressure was on. That's what it was, in my opinion.
Hey, man, what Zoe is
the
saying
pressure was more on the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he checked it down.
The thing with the Giants game, though, Kirk was scared because he was getting pressured all day.
He was getting his ass whooped.
Man, that's all I'm saying.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't. I'm trying to see the pressure he was getting.
Let me look at that Buffalo play, because
he had pressure up the middle.
Yeah,
he had pressure up the middle quick, so he had to get rid of the ball.
By the way,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, he had pressure up the middle real quick.
Who was getting embarrassed in that playoff game was Bradbury, and who the heck?
Up the middle. So I understand why he passed it, just to have a chance to win. So to give us a chance, even though it really wasn't a good chance. I know. I'm just saying, because he got, like, as soon as he hiked the ball, he had pressure up the middle. It was that quick.
That's the thing. But with Kirk, it's already in his mindset that it's gonna be bad.
Hey, man, listen here, D Woods and Tony Bell and my guy Mike and Yogi, man. The bottom line is this, man. We need a quarterback, man. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, he had pressure as soon as he hiked the ball.
I don't care. We'll play the.
You know what? I got it. I'm looking at the play with Buffalo right now. Majority of the players are downfield by the first down. Cook falls down because he can't. Cook falls down because he can't block. TJ is kind of open.
Double coverage. He threw the ball in double coverage, right or wrong.
He did, but it proves my point. When KOC threw a wrong play. Look at it right now. I want y'all to look at the play too. Look at where everybody's at. Everybody's down the field besides Cook, because he failed because he can't block. Yeah. That's it. No, everybody down the field.
No.
So see what I'm saying? I mean,
the quarterback is a fucking robot, man.
Go ahead, Yogi.
You okay with Cook being gone then?
Man, fuck Cook.
You know what? No. I just like.
Fuck Cook.
In all honesty, though, I just feel like what's happening with Cook is starting to show how inexperienced Kwesi is as a general manager. That's like, to me, that's what I'm seeing, because like we could have been done with Cook beginning of the offseason. He could have just cut him, said pretty much the same money, and would have been the same thing. And now we got to do this song and dance, and now we hearing reports that they got this $7 million contract on the table, whatever. Like, I'm open to it. Like how Mike said, if Cook comes back to the team, he would technically be the best running back on the roster. That's fine.
Yeah, honestly,
but I'm just saying, like,
it would actually be smarter for him to come back because he's actually still on the books. Even when they cut him, the Vikings were still on the hook for some of that
Yeah,
salary.
so gotta pay him. Yeah, so I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I just feel like, I understand this is Quasi's second year, and I'm not trying to give him like a lot of like back from so much
Okay.
because he's still
You guys, those of you that
learning.
were on the show last week, do you remember what I said about the whole Quasi thing? Quasi
He ain't the
No, I
ball.
wasn't on last week.
He ain't
Yeah,
the ball.
Quasi's not calling the shots.
He's
Right.
the face.
But at the end of the day,
calling the shots.
I've got that on good authority. He's not calling the shots.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. As a diehard Minnesota Viking fan since Randy Moss was doing his thing, right? If they don't do something on this off, like if we don't win the Super Bowl this year and they don't get a quarterback in 2024 NFL draft, I hope that, and I just hope, I hope we don't fill the stadium like we always been, like, because we need a change. We need a change, man, at quarterback. And if we sign Kirk to a 3-year contract extension, I just hope.
How many of you guys live here in the Twin Cities besides Yogi? You guys are out of state?
Yeah, out of state.
Okay. I live right in the heart of Minneapolis. Let me tell you what's going on. The stadium is paid up.
Right.
It's already paid for. So whatever money the Wilfs get from that stadium goes right into their pocket. Doesn't guarantee it's going to the football team.
Right.
And also, as long as they're better than the Packers, it's a successful year.
But they can't.
Tony, who's calling the shots right now? If you don't mind me asking,
right now,
give me some game right now.
Right now, it's going to be the Wilfs and Andrew Miller. It's Quasi is the figurehead. Quasi is the figurehead. Remember, now here's the thing. Last year, before they hired Quasi, they were going to hire Ryan Pace.
Yeah.
Ryan Pace wanted to blow up the team.
Right.
They didn't
just
want
like he did in Chicago.
Right. They didn't want that here. The Wilfs didn't want that here because they figured they didn't know what was going on with Aaron Rodgers. So guess what? They're going to be better than Packers. So that's when they came up with the whole competitive rebuild theme. But
right.
But it's, I mean, this year, like Quasi wanted Harbaugh. Quasi got voted down by the Wilfs and Miller on some BS. Quasi wanted the wide receiver, what was it, Jameson Williams, in the draft. He got voted down by the Wilfs and Miller for money reasons. His top two decisions have been turned down. So he's basically just a figurehead. They're doing everything by committee.
He's just a puppet, pretty much.
Right. They're not doing what they did
Tony,
before.
don't you? So Tony, do you think that happens because Quasi is going into the situation of being a first-time general manager, that they handcuffing him so he won't make too much mistakes?
Know what it is?
Maybe it would be different if he had experience, like a GM for somewhere else. Like I'm just hypothetically speaking, I'm just asking the question. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is, and this is the Vikings. Yogi, you've seen this in the press. It's all PR. They don't want any negativity on this team. Matter of fact, I can't even get info now from my guy. They're monitoring his emails and his phone. Woo! They don't want negativity put out there.
Man, forgetting that team.
They want everything to be positive. Because that helps with ticket sales and notoriety and everything else. But guess what? You got your stadium. Your team's positively probably going to suck this year. So you need to start making some harsh decisions. Yeah, Quasi is just a puppet. And nobody has yet to answer me this question. Why did KOC take this job? He could have had the Rams job.
The Rams too, though, I think. But
he could have had the Rams job. McVay was going to retire after the Super Bowl. He still has a contract with, I believe, Fox for 5 years.
Hey, but look, by you saying that, all I'm saying is, by the Minnesota Vikings playing with Kirk Cousins, the Minnesota Vikings are losing ground in the NFC North. Y'all paying attention to the NFC North for real.
But what Tony is saying, like that, all that, if everything is true, whatever, You know, I hear his conviction in his voice. It probably is true. What he's saying, that shit don't even matter, because as long as they better than the Packers, if the Packers finish fourth and we finish third, they really don't care. And everything on top of the stadium, they already pay for the stadium. It's money in their pocket, so it really don't matter. That's what you're saying, right, Tony?
Yeah, Chicago, Detroit ain't in the equation.
But they are in the equation.
Yeah.
In the
we as football fans know that.
Look at that.
Oh, okay.
We as football fans know that.
Okay, I got you.
But when you look at like the front office and like money wise, as far as the team making money,
I got you.
As long as they're taking eyes off of Green Bay because they're closer to us than Chicago,
right?
And they've been more successful. That's what, you know, because this state I think is 50-50 Packers and Vikings fans. Yeah, I really do.
What are they saying?
Where you live at?
What are they saying about the Nil
I'm in
Hunters?
Minneapolis.
That's what's up, Yogi. You bring it on. That's what's up, Yogi. I like when you bring on people like this, man. Give me some game every now and then. You know, I ain't got to argue with Zoe half the time.
I give you game.
You just not listening. You just not taking the game, bro.
It's much appreciated, because when I hear somebody talking, they talking their stuff, and I'm still gonna give them shit, still gonna give them a hard time. But when I hear you talking your stuff, you know what you're talking about, I'm gonna sit back and listen so I can learn something. You know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Yogi. You know,
no problem, brother. No problem.
That's what we do.
It's
go ahead, Zoe. Come on, Zoe. It's not for me and Zoe to argue, because he want to think some crazy scheme in his head right now that probably gonna fail and not gonna work. He gonna grab his towel and wipe his head again. I know he gonna do that. So just let him say something crazy. Let's go ahead.
That's not crazy though, but y'all not paying attention though. The Vikings are losing ground in NFC North right now, for real.
They're losing it fast. They're losing it to the Bears and the Lions. They're losing it fast.
I like Tony, dog. He know we think
but they're losing ground to the Bears and the Lions.
And
but right now, they're better than the Packers.
They think they are right now.
And that's on dude, the Packers gonna fall on some hard times now.
No, I feel you. I'm saying though, but if Jordan Love if he could be okay, the Packers might look good. But we still playing with an old ass quarterback, and we don't know if this. But look though, we don't know if the new regime can even draft a quarterback.
Well, and here's another thing too. I got this from my guy. The Vikings are scared to draft a franchise quarterback because they got burned with Christian Ponder.
Yeah.
But first of all, you shouldn't have drafted Christian Ponder in the first damn place.
Ponder was trash in college.
That whole class was trash.
Exactly.
That whole class was trash.
Yes.
And ever since then, they've been worried, and they don't even count Teddy because we don't know what would have happened with Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy's the great unknown. I don't know. I think Teddy might have had success.
Why did they give up on Case Keenum? That's what I mean. Why did they give up on him after that year? I understand we lost to the Eagles 30. What was it? 37.
Because Spielman had it in his head that we were one player away from a Super Bowl, and it was the quarterback position, which was BS.
Yeah, because hey Tony, that's my issue though. These people get paid millions of dollars, and we all know as fans of the NFL, every year is a different year. If you got a top 5 defense last year, that do not mean your defense is going to be top 5 next year.
Talk that talk, brother. Talk
you know
that
what I'm saying?
talk.
If your offense is good, that don't mean your offense is going to be good next year. Every team have a setback, and people learn you with film and everything else.
And that's another thing too with KOC now. Teams have film on his offense.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have film on his offense, and they already know how Kirk is. So guess what? When you take away the piece that could have been valuable last year, could have been Dalvin Cook if they had used him. But they didn't use him in the passing game. Dalvin wanted to be used in the passing game, and they would not use him in the passing game. And that really upset him.
But you know
yes, and that really upset it. Really upset it.
But you know what I think gonna happen coming this season though? Knowing how Kirk Cousins is and the film is out, I think Teddy gonna pressure the Minnesota Vikings more and blitz them more on the Minnesota Vikings.
If I'm the Vikings, I basically play old school football, run the damn ball. You got enough running backs, run them.
Hence why
Wonderful.
they. Hence why they.
But with
got
our
Oliver.
offensive line, I don't know if that's doable.
Well, if you're Yogi, answer this question for me. The best way to give an offensive line confidence is at least have them good at running the ball. If they're opening up holes,
Let them maul.
It usually helps with their pass protection. Am I wrong, Yogi?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Give them confidence. Yeah.
Give them some confidence.
Hey, Tony.
And if you've ever played the game of football, the best players go forward, not backing up. And what are you doing when you're pass blocking?
Right.
Backpedaling.
Backing up.
And if you're clumsy like Yogi, it doesn't work all the time.
But yo, that Bradbury, we signed him to a 3-year contract.
Don't get me started. Do not get me started on that.
I just don't understand. Like, that's another position that I think that we should have not gave him that contract, man.
You could have.
There could have been something else better than him.
There was. You know what? And
that's a bad move, man.
The Vikings had a lot of cap issues. That was probably the one. But then again, honestly, you have to get players that want to come up here. And if you're going to play center,
that's true.
If you're going to play center for the Minnesota Vikings, who's your QB?
He's Kirk Cousins. He's still
Yogi's favorite player. Yogi's favorite player.
But
no, that's your favorite player, bro. That's your favorite player.
His own favorite player. I like the consistency, man.
I like Kirk Cousins. He's my quarterback. He's my quarterback.
Just like consistency doesn't always win games. It doesn't win you championships.
It doesn't. I'm not saying that. I'll roll with Kirk.
Put it this way: the most consistent quarterback to ever play in the NFL was Dan Marino. How many Super Bowls he win?
Same as Kirk.
Talking that talk.
No, Kirk ain't no Dan Marino.
And I love Dan Marino. I loved him, but he, it just you could not. If you can't get that championship, that's going to weigh on you.
But Dan Marino ain't fold like Kirk did in big games, though.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I got to give Dan credit. Give Don Shula credit. He built an offensive line around Dan Marino. The man was never hit. Never hit. I mean, if you ever go on YouTube, watch that Bears-Dolphins game from Monday night in '85. That's when the Bears had that one of the best defenses to ever walk on the field. They couldn't get to Marino.
Wow.
And it's just, but that's what Shula, that was old school football. He built that offensive line. Also, he ran the ball with, I believe, Tony Nathan and Andrew Franklin. And then he could throw it to Duper and Clayton. So,
So Tony and Yogi.
Thing, real quick. This is my thing. We're so focused on getting Cousins the weapons to get the ball to, like the JJs, the Addisons, that we're forgetting we got to start with the trenches and get the pieces to protect him. Because in my personal opinion, I think if he's well protected, I don't think it matters what wide receiver is out there, that Cousins would be able to get him the ball. If he's
look at D Wood.
If he's more protected, Cousins would be able to pick apart and get the ball to the whatever wide receiver it is. But what happens is when he gets that pressure or the line breaks down and he senses just a smidgen of pressure is when we get the sacks, he gets hit, the hurries. I think we're focusing too much more on getting the pieces for him to get the ball to instead of the pieces to protect them in the middle.
But you forgot one thing. One thing you forgot, Yogi. One thing you forgot. Yeah, that might work for him. Every quarterback goes through that. Every quarterback deals with what Kirk has dealt with. Kirk can't improvise. He cannot improvise. He cannot think off the cuff. He cannot be like, okay, just off the top of his head, change a play. He doesn't audible.
Yeah.
They say he audibles. I don't think he does. And if he does, there's somebody in his ear.
Regular season, he was doing his thing. But just postseason, he just didn't do it when he needed to it the most. So
but go ahead, Mike.
And for postseason, And for postseason, let's be honest with this Viking team. They come out of the chutes on fire. They disappear for 3 quarters until it was time to come back and put on a win. They didn't play. There were like 2 quarters. They would be like, what the hell happened? You know, it just got it, and I don't know if that's it could be coaching too. I think the Vikings are too soft. I'm just going to be honest. They're way too soft as a team. Period.
Are they soft like cotton candy, or are they soft like bread?
They're soft like runny shit.
But hey, Yogi,
they're soft like diarrhea. There.
Yeah, but hey, Yogi.
But
back to your question about Kirk Cousins and the O-line and pressure and stuff like that. It ain't never gonna be a perfect offensive line for no quarterback, though. You're gonna deal with pressure. People might bring 8 players up front to blitz. You know what I'm saying? So it always gonna be pressure and people bringing extra people to blitz the quarterback. It just if you can read it and see the blitz fast enough to attack the play. Kirk Cousins don't do that.
Here's the thing, though. If you look at the Vikings roster,
he do this.
If you looked at the Vikings roster, how many tight ends did they sign last year? They signed like 10 million tight ends. Yeah. Why can't you put one of them sorry jokers in there to help block, especially giving Darisaw and O'Neal some help?
Because you
had CJ Ham all year and didn't use him. I didn't understand why CJ Ham wasn't
thing.
blocking.
And then they re-signed CJ Ham, which he doesn't. If KOC's running that McVay type of offense, there's no playing there for a fullback.
But hey, Toe,
it's more like special teams, kickoff returns.
Why though? Why?
I'm just saying what it is, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
It makes a good point though. It makes a good point that like you signed all these tight ends, but you're not having them help block in the passing game.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing though, with the new rule change this year, special teams ain't gonna look so special because nobody will be returning kickoffs anymore.
Exactly.
With the new rule. So it's, you got Ham on the roster. I don't know why. It ain't like you're giving the ball at the goal line.
Would y'all be mad if we didn't?
I was hearing that they trying to.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, go. I was hearing that they trying to like run a different variation offense where they're going to run it more like how Frisco ones.
Yeah, that's why they signed,
with their tight ends. And with their fullback, that's fine. Like I like it though. Like it's a good idea. Me, honestly, I just want to see it come to fruition. Like if they really start doing that and it's working, I'm cool with it. But let's not, get like that's why I'm not so deep into it. Like, oh yeah, it's going like this because shit, we don't know. We thought Dalvin Cook was going to be catching the ball more last year, and he didn't. So we want to, I want to see it happen first.
Here's my thing. Everybody's like talking about the way football is played nowadays. You can't go back to the way it was played even 20, 30 years ago. Why not? These defenses aren't built to stop the run hardly. None of them are. Most of these defenses are nickel 80% of the time.
All the time.
Because teams are putting 3 wide, 4 wide. They're spreading the field out. Run the ball. There's nothing wrong with it.
And that's another. I made a video. We was talking about that. The running back position is disrespected, and I feel like this is what I'm starting to feel like. The team, like the closest team that's like more old school is the 49ers. And look how consistent they are. They're physical in the trenches, right? You got the D-line, offensive line, and they run the damn ball. Their wide receivers are like running backs. You know what I'm saying? They just need a quarterback. But I feel like the Minnesota Vikings need, like you said, build in the trenches. And I hope Madison is ready to be RB1. Run the ball a lot more. Run some screen passes. But the only problem is I don't know about the offensive line. And we didn't address the offensive line. Our guards, not trying to be mean, Ed Ingram led the lead and allowed sacks. So why didn't they address it? I like Jordan Addison. Why didn't they draft the offensive guard in the first round? I know it's not a sexy position, but you got to build in the trenches. All right. I'm just saying, second round, trade. I don't know, whatever. Third round. Why didn't they draft somebody?
And this is the problem.
Third round, something.
And Mike, this is the problem with today's NFL. This is the problem. Everything has to be flashy.
It doesn't win all the
they
time.
don't. Right. And the
The
flash doesn't
49ers are
always
closer.
win.
The 49ers are closer.
Okay, I'm going to give
than
you
we
guys a
are.
little history lesson. A little history lesson. This is a Viking history lesson. You as Viking fans have heard, everybody considers Fran Tarkenton the franchise quarterback this team had, right?
Right.
Wrong. When Fran came back here, we needed a quarterback. We had the defense. We had a team. We needed a quarterback. So we go and get Fran. Fran comes back, we're 7-7. We ain't that good. When did this team turn the corner? The next year when they drafted a running back out of Miami named Chuck Foreman.
Right.
That changed this team.
And that, I just made a.
So, though, Tony, let me ask you a question about the running back position, though.
Okay.
Real quick, though. I got a theory, like, because you know how running back not getting paid right now. You know,
right.
Yeah, unfortunately, it should be.
I call it collusion, right? I have a prediction. I might not be right, I might be wrong. I think in the next few years, we're going to see that same thing happen to the wide receivers because just like you said, everything is being flashy. I think after JJ breaks the bank, the receivers are going to be like the running backs in the next couple of years too because they all coming out of the league just like faster, right? Jameson Williams, all these other guys, right? So you can draft the receiver in the second round to put up all the numbers because it's a passing league. So why would you pay one receiver 25, 30 million a season when you can just come draft his replacement and have that on a controlled contract for the next 5 years? That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing that's going to happen.
And you're on to something. You're definitely on to something. Oh, by the way,
and that's my reasoning. That's my reasoning for wanting to trade JJ because if you do that now, you let somebody else some other team set the market for JJ. You get your draft picks, and just like Yogi and Tony said, you can actually build your team the right way, built in the trenches or whatever with those draft picks, and you won't have this large contract from a receiver, on your team because you do have Addison that's going to go be on a controlled contract for the next 5 years because you just drafted him last year. That's why he's talking this talk because
here's the thing with Addison.
That's how I see it.
Here's the thing with Addison. This year, the Vikings drafted their future wide receiver 1 just in case JJ gets an attitude and wants to go. They've got their
turn into a prima donna. Like that's what I've been saying because it's like it makes sense though. If we really feel like Addison can be a number 1, if we see he might not be double covered, it's gonna all go to JJ. But if we can see him break his route, if we can see him get open, we can see him get separation. I am open to trading JJ because it's like I don't want that $30-40 million contract from a receiver. Where just like Yogi said and Tony said, we need offensive linemen and we need to build this team, and get these guys confidence. That's what it should be all about. And I think that's the reason why probably too that JJ hasn't signed this contract yet because they might be thinking, they might want to see what they actually have in having JJ. Because you think about it too, what's cheaper, signing JJ long term or signing KJ Osborne? I would just bring KJ Osborne back, on a longer deal and have Addison on there too. Because you can run the ball.
Man, KJ, you know what though? Here's the thing. KJ is easily replaceable.
Hey, D Wood.
He's easily replaceable. You can find a number 3 receiver anywhere.
That's true.
And that's what we're saying. The wide receiver position is watered down.
Yeah, Tony. That's what I've been saying. Like, why would you pay JJ all that money when you just going to draft him? You can draft a replacement every year. There's a top receiver every year.
One of the reasons you pay him, especially if you're like a small market team like the Vikings, small market, puts eyes on the product.
Yeah,
his jersey sells. But other than
I'm talking about winning the Super Bowl, Tony. Like me personally, I've been a Viking fan since '98. Right. I love Randy Moss. I love Culpepper. I love Adrian Peterson. I love all these guys. Right. I love all these guys. But what I'm saying though, as my team, loving my team, I want a Super Bowl, and we ain't gonna win a Super Bowl. We've had top receivers the history of this team, right?
Yes,
top receivers. It ain't that hard to produce a Super Bowl. What produces Super Bowls? A top quarterback. The reason why the Kansas City Chiefs are winning because they got the top quarterback. Woo. Quarterbacks drive the league, and we can sit here. We talk about Kirk Cousins for 30, 40 minutes, knowing that he's not the guy. How the hell are we gonna get the guy if we paying Justin Jefferson $40 million a season? We ain't never gonna be bad enough to get a guy.
But
And that's what I'm saying.
Woods,
Like, I'm
but
in the Super
Woods, you
Bowl.
could trade.
You get me, Tony?
I get
Hold
you.
on, but
I get you.
But Woods,
Get him, Mike.
but Woods,
I'm
you
not
can
getting emotionally
still,
attached to any players.
huh?
I'm not going to be emotionally attached to any players because
Yeah,
we're going to sit
I
here
get
and
what
say
you're saying.
the whole same thing. Go ahead, Mike.
I get what you're saying, but the thing about it, now I understand where you're coming from with JJ, right? But at the same time, I still rather just give up our first round picks that we have a few years to go trade up. And I'm not saying trade up like a couple first round. I'm not saying to trade up to the first overall pick. I'm talking like the 10th or the 15th or whatever. I don't necessarily want to get rid of JJ right now when we can get our franchise quarterback for him to throw it to. I just feel like that's kind of going backwards. Unless, like you said, unless Jordan Addison's that guy, then
Okay, let me ask you guys a question.
Here's another thing. There's another thing
Antonio
too.
Brown wasn't a first round pick, was he?
Hey, Mike.
Antonio,
no, was he a second round pick?
he was a second.
Yeah,
You can find guys in the second round.
But here's the thing, though. Here's what'll happen. The Vikings are really bad as far as the salary cap situation. So we got a lot of those people off the books. We'll see what happens.
Hey, Guess what,
Tony,
y'all?
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, he goes.
We got Justin in the building.
He go Justin. I want Justin and Tony to go because Tony agreed with what I was saying. Go ahead, Justin. Tell him how much you love Justin Jefferson.
No. Tony is agreeing with me.
Oh my God!
You also mine. Let me say it like this. First off, Tony, it's a pleasure to actually share the airways with you.
How you doing, Justin?
Last week, and Dave from First and Skull told me about you, so I'm glad to share the mic with you tonight. Now, I'm going to recap about the last 45 minutes here. So I'm going to ask y'all to give me the floor for a minute, and I'm going to address a lot of things that were said here. D Woods, the last thing you just got done saying was we're never going to be bad enough with JJ to get that. How the hell you not have that same conviction with Kirk Cousins is beyond me. The problem
I do. I never said I didn't. No.
Earlier,
I never said I didn't, though.
Earlier, you said, give me a plan. All y'all want to say anything but Kirk Cousins. Well, what's your plan? Here's the problem with the logic. Kirk Cousins is a top 8 to 10 quarterback. That is true. But he's not good enough to win a Super Bowl. The problem is he's not bad enough to be bad either. And so if you want to keep rolling with Kirk, you're going to just keep rolling with a team that's going to cap out at the wild card round or the divisional round of the playoffs. So sometimes when we say, hey, I'm not with Zoe where I think he's total trash. I love you, Zoe. But anyway, I digress. I'm not going to say he's total trash. But what I am going to say is I'm ready to move off of him because I know what I got from him. I know that I have a guy that unless he gets hurt, I'm always going to win at minimum. It don't matter what team and it don't matter what schedule is. You're going to win a minimum of 7 or 8 games with him, which means you're going to be drafting no higher than 15th or 16th, which means you then have to sacrifice draft capital to move up to get a better guy. But the thing of it is this. You're thinking from the standpoint of, well, unless I can find something better than Kirk, I'm not going to move off of Kirk. You have to accept that unless you're going to trade 3 first-round draft picks for a quarterback, that you might have a season where you downgrade at quarterback where you're looking at it from a short-term pain for a long-term gain. So I agree with what Tony has said. I've said that, Tony, for the last 3 years, that the Wilfs are the biggest issue. And I'm not saying that makes them bad owners, okay? I live in Rochester, so I follow all Minnesota sports.
Okay.
I know how cheap Red McCombs was. I know how cheap the Twins as an organization have been for decades. The Wilfs are not cheap, but don't get me wrong. You're 100% right. Their first priority is making money, which is fine. They're billionaires. Of course, that's what their first priority is. But the biggest problem with the Wilfs is this. They have owned this team for 18 years, and I've used this speech before. In their 18 years, there's 3 kinds of teams in the NFL. There's teams that win 6 games or fewer, teams that win 11 games or more, and teams that win between 7 and 10, right? Okay. They have only had 4 seasons where they have had 6 wins or fewer, which you would say, hey, that's pretty good. In 18 years, we've only had 4 train wreck seasons. Guess what? They've only had 4 seasons where they've won 11 games or more also. They have had 10 seasons where they're in that 7 to 10 window, and that's where they want to be. They want to make sure that the Vikings don't have a train wreck like they did in 2012 when they were 3-13 and they were eliminated by Thanksgiving and they lost money at the gate at the end of the year. They care about winning a Super Bowl, but they care more about not being bad more than they care about being great. And that is why Kirk Cousins is a perfect quarterback for them, because you're never going to be horseshit with him, but you're never going to be great with him either.
Optimism sells tickets.
Exactly. They're more afraid of being bad than they are wanting to be great. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Wolves don't care about winning the Super Bowl. Of course they do. All owners want to win. But the question on the table, and in my opinion, is this. Some owners care more about winning, and they don't care if they have a season or two if they're losing, because at the end of the day, they want to win. The problem with the Wolves is they are so deathly afraid of being bad for a season or two because they feel like they might lose money. We are Vikings fans. We have been with this team through its ups and downs and for all the choke jobs. Packers fan will say the reason the Vikings colors are purple is because they're always choking in the big games. We stick around for all of that. So the Wolves, if I could sit down with them right now, I would say, you know what? Don't be afraid of having a bad season or two.
I'm going to have them on next week.
Say what?
I'm going to have them on next week.
Yeah. All right. We having them on tomorrow, right, Yogi? We having them on tomorrow? Right. Well, my point is this. D Woods, I hear what you're saying. All your points are valid, but I'm not thinking about what gives the Vikings the best opportunity to have the best season in 2023. I'm thinking about how do I put myself in a position to be Super Bowl competitive in 24 or 25. And guess what? Trading Danielle Hunter makes 23 worse, but if you get some assets back for him, that helps you for 24 and 25. If you move,
I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
They're gonna from what I'm hearing is they're gonna talk to Daniil's representative next week. Flores wants him here.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So they're gonna work out some sort of contract. And to be honest, I want to keep him. We don't have a pass rush without him. We didn't have the greatest pass rush last year.
Let me ask you this, Tony. This is what I've heard.
Okay.
And Yogi, you got to teach me how to do that, by the way. How you getting those graphics? Yeah, you got to teach me how to do that. But here's what I've heard. I've heard that the Vikings offered Danielle Hunter more money this year, but did not offer him an extension because they understand that he needs to get paid more money, but that they're not willing to commit to him beyond this year. And that has really pissed off Danielle, that he's like, really like, fine, just trade me then. I mean, do you still see a path where this can be worked out? Because what I've heard is that Danielle just wants out. I mean, what have you heard on that?
The problem I'm hearing is he wants to get paid as a defensive end.
And he wants
or
to get
something
paid
like that.
Right.
They want to play him as a linebacker.
Okay.
Damn.
There's a big difference.
That's why they moved him last year.
there's a big gap in the pay structure. He wants to be a three stance. You know what I mean?
Down
he wants his hands in the dirt.
Down line.
Hands in the dirt.
He wants to be a down lineman.
Right.
And which he should be.
Yes.
He should be. Why? I don't. The whole Donatel thing is for another conversation. We'll get to that later.
Have 2 hours on that bull crap.
Thank you. Right? But yeah, it's but the Vikings are worried he's going to be working out and tear a muscle or get another injury because he works out like a maniac. So they're kind of protecting themselves there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised he wants out. Zimmer was his guy.
My sources tell me, and I say sources in air quotes so people don't come.
I got to do that too.
Right. No, I was on Purple Daily a couple weeks ago and I used the phrase, and those three guys knew I was just joking about it, but a bunch of people in the comments were like, look at this guy pretending like he's an insider. I'm like, I'm not pretending I'm an insider. I was joking. But anyway, my sources, quote unquote, have told me that the damage is irreparable and that Danielle Hunter at this point has said he's not coming back. Have you heard anything like that? Or
I've heard he wants out to. He's gonna hold out. He doesn't want to be with KOC, but Brian Flores is the bridge,
right?
Which is probably why they signed the kid from the Air Force, DeAndre Carter.
Yeah, Andre Carter,
big kid. Yeah, he's got that. He's big like Danielle, not muscle wise, but he's big like Danielle. But he just doesn't like the defensive philosophy, or he didn't like it last year.
Right. And what I have said is that I understand Daniil's perspective, but I also understand the team's perspective where they're signing 24, 25, 26-year-old guys. Daniil Hunter's going to be 29. Daniil Hunter's had injury history.
I'll be right back.
That, yes, if you could get a first-round pick for him, I don't care. You make that move because whatever Daniil Hunter gives you this year, whatever that may be, if you can work something out for this year, the fact that he would walk next year for absolutely nothing, you take what you can. If you can get a first, you take that deal in a New York minute. Now,
I doubt you'll probably get a 2.
I would take a 2. I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't take a 4 and that's it. But I would take a 2 for him just to be done with it. Now,
this defense next year, I'm not. They were what 31.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting them to be much better.
Here's my point.
Oh, I am.
Here's my point. If you have Daniil Hunter, your best, most likely outcome for the season is that you get to the divisional round of the playoffs. If you don't have Daniil Hunter, you're probably going to have a repeat of last year, losing in the wild card round.
Yeah.
If I can get something for Daniil Hunter, I don't care about one game and one more week when I could use an asset. Football players, unfortunately, it's like a business. You have assets and you have liabilities, and assets depreciate. Sometimes you have to sell an asset even though you haven't fully used it up, because it's like if you own a car and it's worth $5,000 to you right now, but you say, I'm going to keep that car for one more year. I'm going to run it into the ground. Okay. And a year from now, you can sell that car for $500. And you have an offer on the table for $4,500 for it right now. That extra $4,000, it doesn't matter what that car can give you for 1 year. That $4,000 is far more valuable to you. So to me, Daniil Hunter is far more valuable as a trade asset if you can get a halfway decent return for him. But circling back to the Cousins thing, I'm just going to wrap my rant with this. This Netflix documentary was very, very well produced, very, very well done. I feel kind of bad for Marcus Mariota because he was just kind of like, literally, he was the third.
How the hell did he get on there?
Well, don't you find it funny that there's 3 quarterbacks in this bit, and once again, Kirk Cousins right there in the middle, like he always is with everything else. He's always right in the middle.
No, Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback of all time.
Let me get back to that. Thank you, Vice, for saying that. Woods, what in the hell were you trying to say? He was the best quarterback the Vikings ever had. Can you?
I didn't say the best quarterback the Vikings ever had. I said the best quarterback that I've seen.
Justin, I didn't give him the history lesson. I didn't give him the history lesson.
You never saw Randall Cunningham. You never saw Jeff.
Yeah, but Randall Cunningham, it didn't last too long, man. It was a flash in the pan.
All right, fine. So you say take out the one-hit wonders, right?
Yeah, take out.
All right. Apparently, you fell asleep from 2000 to 2004 when Dante Culpepper was our quarterback.
Yeah, I saw Dante, but I like Kirk Cousins better than Dante.
Why?
Because he can play.
Yeah, you need to explain that one.
No, I'm not coming at you. I'm legitimately asking you.
I like Dante for the big plays down the field and everything like that. That's cool. But as of like health-wise, he couldn't stay on the field. And it's going to always be an asterisk of what he could have done down the line if he would have stayed healthy.
He only had that one major injury.
Yeah, but after that, he never did anything else.
Well, after that, we got a new head coach who didn't want it.
And by the way,
so I can't put him over that. So I can't put him over Kirk.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Oh,
you got a guy, you got quarterback A. All right, here's what I'll say. I've used this analogy before. Kirk Cousins is a train, and Dante Culpepper is a roller coaster. Kirk Cousins is that solid train that doesn't go up and down and up and down. Dante is a roller coaster where he's got really high highs and really low lows.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm saying for me, and if you want to take Kirk, that's fine. I disagree, but that's okay. I'm saying I will take Dante's peak and I will take the risk of Dante's floor over a guy that I know is going to be steady, but he has a glass ceiling of the divisional round of the playoffs. Listen, Dante and Kirk, as of right now, have both played 5 full seasons with the Vikings. I will take the 5 years of Dante, where I at least got to an NFC Championship game once. Dante Culpepper in 2004 should have been co-MVP with Peyton Manning, and the reason he wasn't is because in 2003 they gave co-MVP to Peyton Manning and Steve McNair. And they didn't want to do that to Peyton 2 years in a row when Peyton had just broken Dan Marino's record. So if that 2003 co-MVP situation hadn't happened, Dante would have been co-MVP. Peyton Manning is the Patrick Mahomes, and Dante is the Joe Burrow. Kirk Cousins ain't nowhere near where Dante was in his highest seasons. Now, I agree with you that Dante He absolutely had years where he was the 25th best quarterback in the NFL, and Kirk's never that low. But
Yes.
if I need
Right.
one guy for one game, I'm taking the risk of his floor for the reward of his ceiling. But that's just me.
Hey, you know what, Justin? Like, I hear you.
Hey.
And
Hey, D
I agree with
Wood.
you to a certain extent. With saying that, but I just saying, like, for me, from a standpoint, I don't want the lowest of the low. I don't want it. I would rather have the, like you said, the consistent train. What up, Zoe? What up, Zoe? You need a timeout?
Hey, let me ask y'all a question one time. My cousin walked in.
He brought his
Who's the better
flashlight.
wide receiver? What's his name? Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson?
By a slight margin, Justin Jefferson. But
Yeah,
it's
slight.
Very, very close. I'm not knocking Jamar Chase. I'd love.
Me neither.
If I had, I wouldn't trade JJ for Jamar, and I wouldn't trade Jamar for JJ. I think they're both pretty.
You know what? Don't be shocked if JJ has a falling out here and he somehow ends up with Joe Burrow.
Oh, absolutely. You think he
I'm
doesn't
taking
see his
Justin
boys
all
in
day.
Cincinnati going to AFC Championship?
Oh God, yeah.
You think he don't see that?
Hey, but look though,
If Justin had Joe Burrow, it would be a different man.
I think I'm going to be honest with you. He might be gunning to go to Cincinnati.
He got Kirk Cousins.
Hey,
Joe. I mean,
he might be gunning.
I gotta get out of here though, y'all. All right, big dog. I'm gonna get on y'all next Saturday. We back live.
Hey, come on tomorrow night. Come on tomorrow night, man. You get in the drawing for the plaque tomorrow.
What's happening tomorrow night, Justin?
Me and Yogi gonna be on our channels. We giving away that Justin Jefferson plaque because he got to 100 subs.
You already know. I'm gonna tap in, Joe.
Okay.
I'm definitely tapping in.
Okay.
Yogi says to me,
check
hey,
y'all out.
Justin, here's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Put me on that motherfucker tomorrow. Shit.
Put me on. Hey, if you there. If you ain't there, I ain't finding you. I ain't chasing nobody.
You know I'm gonna be there. I'm there all the time.
All right, I'll see you, bro.
Hey, look,
that's what people say when they ain't there. I'm there all the time.
I'm gonna see y'all next weekend. All right, Big Zoe.
Later, Zoe.
Ooh, all right, Zoe.
All right, Zoe.
I mean, here's my point, though, Woods. You are exactly what the Wills want as a fan.
I am.
You're the guy, and I'm not
denying it. I am.
Don't take it the wrong way. Right? I ain't capping on you. I'm just saying it like this. There is a contingent of Vikings fans that are so deathly scared of taking a step back for a year or two. And it's just like,
oh, Justin.
Yeah, there are.
I'm not afraid of taking a year. I'm not afraid of that. I'm really not. I'm just like, we were talking about just like quarterback, whatever. I think we were talking about Kirk too long. I get tired of talking about Kirk Cousins.
I gotta disagree with you as far as me being a fan that the Wilfs like, because I don't buy Viking merchandise.
No, I ain't saying you. I was saying him.
Yeah, they said me. But yeah, I just get tired of like how polarizing like the whole Kirk Cousins topic is. Like I understand, like I think everybody, I understand.
It does. Like, everything goes back.
It's to me.
Everything revolves back.
I get fatigued. Yeah, I get fatigued about it, and it's just like just how Yogi said, like other like the Niners are building their teams like in the trenches and running the ball and everything like that. That's fun. Like I feel like as fans and the fan base that we have with our channels and stuff like that, like we gotta really start talking more about that so it can filter down, different levels, because like we can't get on here every week and spend a whole hour on Kirk Cousins. It's like, who gives a shit at this point? Kirk Cousins, we already know what the hell he is. You get what I'm saying? We know what he is.
That's why
here's the problem with that, though. The Minnesota Vikings banked their whole future on Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Well, here's the thing. Here's where
they also give, and guaranteed money is another problem.
Well, I've said this before too. It's funny. In 2018, I endorsed the move, and I'll tell you.
Me too.
I'll tell you why. If Pat Shurmur had not been promoted to the head coaching job in New York, if he had stayed,
we win that game.
If he had stayed as our offensive coordinator, I would have been more apt to keep Case. But I understood hey, that looks like it was going to be another one-hit wonder. And the offensive coordinator that finally found a way to be the bridge between Mike Zimmer and any quarterback not named Teddy Bridgewater, he's moving on. If we were keeping him, I would have kept Case. But being that we weren't keeping him, I was okay with signing Kirk.
Okay, Justin, got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
During that time, did you hear about all the backstage stuff that was going on?
No.
Did you hear about that? You didn't hear about that?
No. What you got?
Okay, that's for another conversation.
Okay, give me the cliff. You
Let's hear it. I want to hear it now. I'm interested.
You got to give the
We got time.
All right.
I mean, let's go.
Okay.
Everybody put your mics. I want to hear it.
All right, let's rewind back. Remember, when was it? What was it? They got Sam Bradford.
Yep, that's 16.
After what happened to Teddy.
In 16, yep.
There was a problem in the locker room between
Norv Turner,
and Tony Sperano, and Shermer. I got to remember this. Shermer and Sperano were in Zimmer's ear that they knew what worked for Bradford because they coached him, and they wanted to call the plays for Bradford. Zimmer let him do it. All the while never taking away the job from Norv Turner.
Till he quit, yeah.
Well, and here's why he quit. Remember that game in Chicago where they got beat?
Yep.
Okay. Remember Zimmer had that cut on his eye?
Yeah. I heard about this a little bit. Yeah, I heard of this story.
Here's what they didn't tell you. And if I have you remember when Zimmer made the press conference when what's his name left, he was like, I hope we're still friends. Well, guess what? Norv and Zimmer got in a fist fight in the locker room.
Dang.
And Zimmer's eye got fucked up because Norv swung at him with a piece of paper in his hand.
Oh,
and cut his eye.
Ouch.
Oh.
That's what
I need
happened.
more of that. I need more of my coaches fighting. I like that ain't soft.
And that is what happened with the whole and then Norv quit. Norv was going to retire at the end of the year. That was supposed to be a swan song.
Yeah.
But Norv said, "Screw it, I'm out of here. You let Shermer and Sperano call." I never liked Tony Sperano. God rest his soul.
Right.
Never liked him. He disrespected Chuck Foreman at training camp that year badly. Disrespected him. I lost all respect for him.
Oh, okay.
But Shermer was bucking to get a head coaching job. That's why he wanted that offensive coordinator job so bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. And Zimmer was the type. Okay, you can call the offense, just don't screw with my defense.
Right.
That was Zimmer's philosophy. But them two were running shit as far as the offense went because of Bradford.
Okay.
And when Bradford got hurt, now keep in mind, let's fast forward 2017.
Yep.
Bradford was going to play in that Pittsburgh game. They had to stop him from playing. Then Bradford forces his way onto the field in that Monday night game against the Bears.
Chicago, yep.
And Akeem Hicks is basically his bitch. And
just tagging him.
Yes. They had to get Bradford out there and put Keenum in.
Mm-hmm.
But Shermer all that time was bucking for another head coaching job, and he got it at the end of the year.
Yeah.
He got it.
Well, here's what I was thinking about Kirk. I like the signing. And after the first season, I was like, ooh, I don't know. Because I remember they went 8-7-1. And
I didn't like
Kirk stands will try to talk about how, well, if Daniel Carlson makes a field goal and we don't tie Green Bay, we go to the playoffs. Dude had the Bears JV squad at home in the last week.
And looked bad. He looked bad.
Yeah, and then he goes to his press conference. It's our first season here, and we didn't do some things. Dude, you were brought in to be the last piece. You don't get to come up there like you some rookie saying, "Well, it was our first year, and we'll try again next year."
Well, and also, Justin, you guys will remember this. That season, that Monday night game in Seattle, where he looked scared.
Where he threw the ball backwards.
And they called him out on it.
Yep.
Bobby Wagner's yelling. He's mic'd up, unfortunately. You heard everything. He's scared.
I got a question for you guys, though. Going back, because I don't want to have too much Kirk Cousins talk. Sorry, but I got a question for you guys. This is an NFL question. It's another theory to the theory about the receivers later. With the whole Pat Shermer thing, do you think like some coordinators should stay coordinators to actually help teams win? Because I see it all the time in the NFL where coordinators leave and then the teams just just are terrible, and that coordinator is basically fired within a year or two, because Shermer, he did terrible, after he left Minnesota. Like, I feel like that's not talked about enough, that these coordinators don't stay in these positions and help these teams wins. Like looking, for example, D'Amico Ryans or whatever, right? He could have left the year before last and been a head coach, but he actually stayed until there's nothing for me to do is actually be a head coach now. So I'm gonna go to Houston, which is kind of perfect for him for being a former player. Like, I just feel like we always talk about the head coaches and the quarterback. We never talk about these coordinators or these coaches that kind of help develop these teams, and they leave and they can't do shit. They're not head coach material.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Say that about a lot of things in life, though. I mean, if you have to think about it from both sides of that. I mean, if you're that person and you have an opportunity to get a promotion, are you going to turn it down? Because, I mean, I get it though. I mean, I used to always say, I don't know if you guys watch Star Trek or not, but I was a pretty big Star Trek guy, and I've always said that some first officers are meant to be first officers, and they're not meant to be captains. And that's the same thing that you're saying with coordinators. Brad Childress is a perfect example.
Brad Childress, do not get me started on Brad Childress.
He was not a head coach. He was an offensive coordinator at best.
Okay, Justin, do you know about the Brad Childress hiring?
Oh, what, he was going to go to Green Bay, and then they
how he held the Wilfs hostage.
Yes. Because here's funny thing about Chili. That team was 8-7-1, and he comes in here saying, this is the plum job in the NFL. I'm not taking over a 3-13 team where I got to start from scratch. And what does his ass do? 6-10, and
6-10.
And then by year 3, he finally gets them back to where they were when he started. But to answer your question, D Woods, I'll say it like this. Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, you can't fault a coordinator. You can't fault a first officer who says, you know what, it's time I get my own ship. It's time for me to be the captain. You're right. There's lots of coordinators out there, that offense and defense, that it's just like, you are a good first officer. You are a good in charge of one unit, but put you in charge of a group of men for 90 guys. By the time you talk about all the coaches, the players, you can't just be a good X's and O's guy. You have to be. You got
to be able to communicate.
You got to be a leader of men.
A leader, and with football especially, just because they're a good coordinator doesn't make them head coach material.
Right.
And I mean, all through history, when you look at the great ones, I mean, Chuck Noll. I don't think Chuck Noll was an offensive coordinator. I think he was a line coach.
Andy Reid was a quarterback's coach.
Andy Reid was a quarterback's coach.
He was never offensive coordinator.
Andy Reid was a quarterback's coach, and so was Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the NFL always pulls from those coordinator spots. They always pull from the coordinator spot.
And what the NFL used to do years ago, Justin, Yogi, you'll remember this, we're old enough. They would pluck the college ranks.
Yeah.
And what happened was so many of those coaches that came out of college could not handle grown men.
No. Look at Jim Harbaugh. There's a reason Jim Harbaugh wears out his welcome after about 4 years. He don't have that problem.
He'll go to Detroit and wear that one out too. So,
but to your point, no, I totally agree. And ultimately, I mean, we could go through the list. I mean, Brad Childress should have never been a head coach. Hell, Mike Zimmer, even when he was a head coach, he should be the CEO. He can't be, I'm the head coach, but I'm just the executive vice president of the defense, and I'm going to let my offensive coordinators be in charge of the offense. No, you got to be in charge of the whole team.
The only reason Leslie Frazier got the job when he did was because he was going to be in demand in the offseason for a head coaching job.
Y'all, I'm out, y'all.
You got to go, Mike. I got to go. So, good talk with you, Mike. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. Peace, y'all. Have a good night.
Hey, I'm almost up to the top row here.
I'm about to bounce it a little bit too. I just like talking about different topics, though, man. You get what I'm saying?
A little bit. So, I guess I'll just wrap with this. I agree with you, though, D Wood. I'm sick and tired of the Kirk Cousins thing. But you want to know what's funny for somebody like me who's in the middle? If I'm on a podcast with a bunch of Kirk haters, they'll call me a Kirk stan, and I'm the furthest thing from a Kirk stand. And if I'm on a podcast with a bunch of Kirk stands, they will call me a Kirk hater. And I'm the farthest thing from a Kirk hater. I think he's good, not great. And I've been consistent with my argument about Kirk the whole time. It's like I say the same thing about Kirk as I do Dak Prescott and Jared Goff and Derek Carr, all of these guys who will get you decent, good regular seasons, they'll get you to the playoffs, but they're not going to win you no Super Bowl. But I'm just ready to move on because I'm so sick of being mediocre. The Vikings have been so stuck in the middle for forever that I am willing to move off of Kirk, not because I think he's the biggest problem. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying that he's the problem insofar as he's good enough to keep you from drafting a franchise quarterback high, but he's not good enough to win a Super Bowl. That's why I want to move on.
Kirk delays the inevitable.
Yes.
He delayed, and also mediocre sells in Minnesota.
But mediocre's here's what's funny. I tried to explain this to somebody. I said, you know what? Sometimes being bad isn't the worst place to be. It's the worst place to be if you're perpetually bad, yes. But guess what? Consistency and mediocrity, there's a very thin line between the two of them. There really is. And I watched Kevin Garnett be with the Minnesota Timberwolves for a long time, except for that one season with Cassell and Sprewell. What did Kevin Garnett do? He was a Hall of Fame player that kept you at 50 wins, got you into the playoffs, but by himself, he couldn't get the job done. Kevin Garnett wasn't the problem, but guess what? You ain't never going to be drafted in no top 5 when you got Kevin Garnett on your team.
No.
So it's the same kind of deal where it's just like, I know what I got with this guy, and I'm not satisfied with a guy who I know is going to top out at the divisional round of the playoffs. And
there's another thing too with as far as Minnesota goes. The Vikings have owned the Twin Cities now as far as marketing and everything for over 40 years.
Yes.
Damn near 50 years. Even when the Twins had their run, this was still football territory.
Yes.
So if the Vikings all of a sudden they don't have that product, people are going to take their money and go somewhere else.
No, they won't.
And that scares the Wilfs. But we don't have much options here anyway.
If you want to recognize that the Twin Cities is a cesspool of mediocrity, okay?
It always has been.
Yes.
All right,
it always has been.
Y'all fellas.
All right, big dog.
Good talk to you.
All right.
We'll wrap it up here in a minute because I got to get going too. But
it always has been. I've lived here all my life. I lived in St. Paul.
Yeah, I grew up in Cottage Grove. I live in Rochester now, but I grew up in Cottage Grove. And again, I don't want to go too much further on the Kirk thing because I'm exhausted about it too. And at the end of the day, once training camp starts, he's our quarterback, and we'll support him because we want to see this team win. It's just one of those deals where, watching that documentary, did it change my mind on him? Not really. No. I mean, I appreciate a little bit more. I mean, we all knew he was getting beat up every single game, and I was like, oh man, that looked worse than I really thought it was. And I always knew he was a good family man and a good down-to-earth human being.
Yeah, we already that they're not telling us anything new.
Yeah, here's the one thing I'm gonna say about this, and Yogi, you and I will talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. But when the difference between the Buffalo game, the 4th and 18 where he did throw it to JJ, and the 4th and 8 against the Giants. Number one, in Buffalo, they were coming out to 2-minute warning, so he was on the sideline with KOC, and KOC said to him, "You throwing this ball to JJ, come hell or high water." I don't care if he's double teamed. And if you notice on the documentary, as they're breaking the huddle, Kirk is saying to JJ, I'm throwing you this ball. I don't care what coverage is. I'm throwing it to you because it's the game right here. It's 4th and 18. We don't have a lot of options. It's coming to you. On that 4th down play against the Giants, they just got done with the 3rd down play, came in the huddle. And what I didn't like, the one thing about that documentary that made me mad about Kirk was just that. He says, I didn't think it was fair to throw that ball to JJ in that situation with the season on the line. Oh, so you gonna tell me it was fair to throw the ball to TJ Hawkinson? It wasn't fair to throw the ball to JJ and put it on him, but I can throw it to Hawkinson and put it on him and expect him to break a tackle. I'm like, dude, this is why I was so frustrated. I was watching this game and my daughter was watching there with me. And when that 4th and 8 play happened, I said, Kirk, are you kidding me? My daughter's like, what did he do? I'm like, he did what he
does. He did
what he always does, what he hasn't been doing all year, and now he's gone back to what he does.
I call him that whole game.
That whole game, she's like, "Oh, they're losing, Dad," and I'm just like, "I ain't worried about it." Kirk, he's been in this situation before. He's going to know how to handle it, and then he went back to who he was. And so when he says to JJ in Buffalo, I'm coming to you regardless, but then in the Giants game, he didn't, I'm like, so what happens when we're in the divisional round of the playoffs this year and we're down by 4 and we're in that situation? Is anybody really going to have faith that he's going to change again? I doubt it.
No,
That's not me hating. That's
No,
just being real with
that's
it.
just a fact. And if we know it, you know damn well that locker room knows it.
That's the key. But the key is, do the Wilfs know it?
Well, like I said, don't be shocked if the Wilfs extend him.
I wouldn't be shocked. I certainly hope not. I certainly hope that they're finally seeing, you know what? Because here's what I was trying to say earlier before he came back in. I agreed with the signing in 2018. That wasn't a mistake. That was the right move. And I will fight anybody that wants to, in hindsight, say, nope, you should have kept Case Keenum. Okay. I will listen to some portions of that, but the biggest mistake wasn't signing him. The biggest mistake was extending him and then extending him and then extending him. It was the right move. And when they signed him to all that guaranteed money, you know, remember what they said in the press conference? We only signed him for 3 years. So if this doesn't work, we didn't just sign him to 6 years, fully guaranteed. We have outs at the end of 3 years if this doesn't go the way we need to. And they didn't take the outs that they built in for themselves.
Yeah.
That's what the mistake was.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. You couldn't move him. You cut him. You're still on the hook for a bunch of money. And nobody wants that contract.
You could have traded him after 2019.
Nobody wants him.
San Francisco would have taken him.
You know what? And there's what the big friction is. Shanahan would have took him. Lynch didn't want him.
I think if after San Francisco loses to Kansas City and the Vikings would have been willing to trade him and before they extended him, I think you could have got it done. I really do. Now, having said all that, you're right. Once you extend him the first time, okay, now nobody's taking him anymore.
Right.
And their problem is that, well, we got nothing better and we got to keep our mediocrity. We got to keep ourselves in purgatory because we don't want to take a step back.
Yep. Well, and also, I mean,
what's up, Too Evil? I see.
He's not going to get the type of money he wants next year. So I almost see him. He's going to be what, 36 next year, 37.
He's going to turn 35 at the start of the season. So yeah, 36.
He'll be 36. Year. So guess what? His best option, and the Wilfs will probably do it. No, they'll extend him.
I really hope Jaren Hall shows. You want to know what I want more than anything? I want Jaren Hall to at least be the backup quarterback going into the season because that'll at least show me that he's making some progress. If he's the number 3 behind, was it Sean Mannion? Then
no, it's Mullins.
Oh, Mullins. Excuse me. You can tell I'm getting tired. It's time to get up out of here. Right? I'm talking about Sean Mannion. Okay, but anyway, my point is that it's not that I hate Kirk. If I could get Kirk on my channel to sit down with an interview with him, you bet your bottom dollar I would run for that opportunity. And I would say the same things I've always said. I said, Kirk, it's all up in your head. That's what it's not his physical ability. It's in his head. I mean, you see Patrick Mahomes when something bad happens, he cusses out for about 2 minutes and then he moves on. I agree that you want to learn from your mistakes. You don't want to just say, oh, I just threw an interception. Oh, well, I don't care. I'm not saying that. But he'll let something bother him for way too long. And it's just like, dude, let it go. Just go out there and do what you can do.
Next play, you got to blow it off. You got to, but for him though, I mean, just his body language on the sideline.
Yeah.
Is just, he looks like a loner, like that one kid that nobody wants to talk to. You know,
Tony, you heard my analogy about Kirk Cousins versus girls in high school?
What's that?
Okay. I wish State of Mind was still here. Maybe he's heard it, maybe he hasn't. The problem with Kirk is imagine yourself being that band geek who dates 3s and 4s, right? And then you got Kirk transfers in from another high school and he's a 6 and he wants to date you as the band geek. And you're like, okay, I'm dating 3s and 4s. I'll dang well better date this 6, right? Then you start realizing why the football players from the other high school kicked her to the curb and said, you know what, this 6 ain't worth it. But then you're saying to yourself, all right, if I get rid of the 6, I might be going back to 3s and 4s again. You might, but you also might find your 8 or 9. And so that's what guys like State of Mind, it's like, don't be afraid that if you get rid of this comfortable 6, that you're destined to end up with another 3 or 4. You still have an opportunity to get yourself an 8 and a 9.
And unfortunately, we have an organization that thinks like that.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying. That's how the Wilfs think.
Yeah, it just and on a closing note, I just want to put this out there. Green Bay's had 2 franchise quarterbacks in the last 30 years.
They've had 2
right?
nines. Yeah.
One of them was a trade. They didn't even draft him, and he wasn't even a starter.
Nope.
So you got lucky. It happens. You get lucky.
But to your point you made earlier about how they're so deathly afraid to take a quarterback because of what happened with Ponder, it's like, wait a minute. Didn't you draft Laquan Treadwell? You weren't afraid to draft Justin Jefferson. You just drafted Laquan Treadwell. You should have drafted Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but Laquan's not the vocal point of the team.
Yeah, I know. It's a quarterback versus. I get that. I'm just saying, it's like don't be afraid.
Yeah, they also drafted Mike Hughes last time I checked, number 1.
Yeah. All I'm saying is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid for something better. And it's for me as a Vikings, I just turned 44, and I've seen this team be good, not great, for the vast majority of my lifetime.
Okay.
I'm willing to take a couple years if we're not that good. I'm not saying that that's what I want to happen. That's not saying I'm looking forward to it. But if you told me right now the Vikings are going to lose in the wild card or divisional round of the playoffs again, what's the difference between being 6-11 versus losing in the wild card round? Nothing.
And see, with me, I'll be 57 in October.
Okay.
I started watching this team in 71 as a wee kid, so I saw the good years.
You got to see them Super Bowl.
I got to see them. And trust me when I tell people, okay, you go to the Super Bowl and you lose, there ain't nothing after that.
I don't even know what it's like. I've never even seen them get to a Super Bowl. So, yes, I'm more than willing to give up mediocrity if that means for the chance of being great.
When the last time they went to the Super Bowl, I was in 4th grade. I was 10 years old.
1976.
It was the bicentennial year.
No, I was at that Atlanta game in '98. That was a long walk back to my college.
It's kind of like
that's the one for me.
For me, I'm gonna say the Saints game because the way the Saints were playing. On deep, they hadn't hit anybody all year, but they were just taking shots left and right.
Well, they hit Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner got it the worst. Kurt Warner got it the worst
when they started it. You're right.
Yes,
you're right. Though they didn't do that all year. All of a sudden,
yeah, Kurt Warner got it the worst.
He got decapitated.
But it was kind of like they were in there. But then you know what? You can't turn the ball over 8 times.
But here's the other thing too, and I know we're trying to wrap, but here's what I'm saying. People want to blame the Saints, and they want to blame Adrian Peterson. They want to blame Brett Favre. I blame Brad Childress and Derek Bevel. After the second quarter, you should realize these guys are playing dirty, and we can't just leave Favre hanging out there to dry. We need to protect him better. I know you don't want to let the other team dictate how you call plays, but at some point you have to adjust.
Oh, by the way, you can blame Childress for the 12 men in the huddle.
Yes. We want to blame Eric Bieniemy for all that, but he's still the guy in charge.
And
that goes back to that leadership thing we were talking about. You coming out of a timeout and there's chaos on your sideline. You'd have to be man enough to be like, hey, everybody sit down and shut the bleep up.
Yeah.
You're not finna screw this up.
I want to bring it up if I'm ever on with you guys again, how Eric Bieniemy keeps getting passed over.
Oh, I think we know how.
I know how. I'm pretty sure we all know how. But I just want
to be whatever late night on a Saturday, but let's just call it for what it is.
But I just, because it's like the way, because I heard one person say, well, he can't interview. Did anybody listen to Brad Childress talk? Did anybody listen to Mike Zimmer talk? Yeah. Thank you. Exactly. And I mean, the most painful press conference I ever had to listen to was anyone that Brad Childress.
Thanks for joining GGC tomorrow night. But
what time are you guys on tomorrow night?
7:30.
Okay.
So for anybody still in the chat, go to my channel, go to Yogi's channel on your way out. Hit the like buttons because the live is already up. So hit them like buttons so we get as many people up in there. I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. Me and Yogi gonna have to talk about because I don't know how to do that spinning of the wheel thing that you guys do. So Yogi, you're gonna have to take care of that portion of it. But it's gonna be a good time. We'll talk a little bit more about the Netflix series. We'll talk about training camp coming up. We'll talk about Dalvin Cook. Let me just say my part on Dalvin Cook. Hell no. No. No.
And I'm gonna leave it with this note. Once again, Jim Marshall's up for the Hall of Fame.
And this dude better get in this time.
He needs to get in this time.
Yes. I mean
he needs to get in.
yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. It's such a travesty that he's not there already. But
Yeah.
Having said that, check out my page, everybody. Purple and Go for Days. I just dropped a 4 minutes on the Dalvin Cook thing. So if you want my full analysis on why I say hell no to it, it's up there. So click on that on your way out. But like I said, hit them like buttons on both those channels as we want to get that out there on the aggregator as quick as possible. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate you. And if you don't already subscribe, let's go through the list. That's Purple Rain 24/7. That's Purple and Go for Days. That's Vikings First and School Media. That's Purple Pocket Podcast, Minnesota Sports Talk, GG Sports. That's the family. Did I miss anybody? I think I got him. Oh, no, Minnesota Sports Talk. Talk. My guy, Dave. We got to get him, too. But hit them subscribe buttons on all the channels and help us grow this community because we are just 2 weeks away from training camp. We won't argue about this stuff in the offseason anymore. We'll talk about, okay, who's going to make this team and who's going to get cut and how far are we going to go.
Then we'll be arguing about how Kirk has Kirk moments and how the defense still sucks and – we'll find new topics to complain about.
Oh yeah.
Or we'll just find new ways to complain about the same topics.
Oh yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
But to wrap up, I will say 98 was slightly worse than 09 for me. I think my thing for 09 is I never wanted Brett Favre. I hated Brett Favre so much because he was so good for the Packers in my formative high school years that I'm just like, no, I don't want that guy. So I think I always kind of kept my emotions in check. Is like, nope, I'm not buying into this because I know he's going to screw it up. But part of it, too, is because I was at that 98 game and I had to walk back to my college dorm with my brother. And my brother said to my parents when they came to pick him up, how's he doing? And my brother's like, he hasn't said a word for 2 hours. I've never seen that in my life. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't talking.
I
don't even talk.
Once it was over, I stewed about it. But then I'm like, you know what? Been there, done that, been saying it again. Yeah. There's always next year.
I was only 19 at that time. I'd only seen 87. I didn't see all the Super Bowl losses. Like 87.
Okay, I went through the Super Bowl. I went through the one that hurt the most playoff losses, 75.
That's what I hear. I mean,
75. That Viking team was probably going to go to the Super Bowl. They would have beat the Steelers. Steelers went into that Super Bowl against the Cowboys hurting. Joe Green was hurt. And the Steelers took advantage of it, and then that was the best Viking team we had until Drew Pearson pushes off Nate Wright. And,
yeah.
So it's like when you go through that and then whatever's happened recently, you're almost like, you know what, this is Viking history. It's par for the course.
Yes, that's unfortunate. We're the Vikings are Lucy, and Vikings fans are Charlie Brown. Lucy, put the ball up. Come on, Chuck, come kick it. I won't pull it away. Yeah, you will. Thanks for letting me sit in with you guys as always on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me come on, guys.
Tony will do something during the season on my channel too. Okay.
Oh, definitely. I'm always available.
You on Twitter?
Yes, I am.
Let me get your Twitter handle so I can DM you real quick so I don't lose contact with you real quick. Go ahead.
Tbell6613.
Tbell6613. I'm gonna follow you up right now. So follow me back so I can DM you. Okay.
Okay.
We good? Anything else you got, Yogi?
For you just to stay on after I end the broadcast.
All right, yeah, we can take a couple minutes, but yeah. All right, that's cool.
Thank
you, everybody.
Yep, take care, guys.
See y'all tomorrow night.